and it's specifically from tickets back to our member schools for their operations of their athletic departments.
Thanks for listening to The Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and Coach Bob Lovell. And thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community.
This is 95.9 WEFM in Michigan City.
Live on WEFM, it's time for high school football. Tonight, Hobart goes to Merrillville on Regional Radio Sports.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Regional Radio Sports Network. We are broadcasting live and in living color right here on WEFM 95.9 FM. Glad you can hop along for the Battle of the Unbeatens as the Hobart Brickies take on the crosstown rival Merrillville Pirates, a couple teams that for many, many years and several decades were long-time rivals in the Duneland Athletic Conference, and we welcome you to the 49th meeting all-time between these two former DAC rivals. Hobart leads the all-time series against Merrillville 28-19-1. So we're glad you're able to join us here today. However, Merrillville has won the last 6 straight in the series. Last year, the Bucks won a 17-7 affair at Don Howe Field at the Brickyard. Alongside Frank Kilpakowski, Randall Conde, Fred Maxey, my name is Paul Condry. Glad that you can join us here for the 31st season of Regional Radio Sports Football. And yours truly, working on year number 35, the happy number that was the legendary Tony Esposito. So we're glad you can hop along here tonight, Frank. Randall, this is my favorite game of the year. I've said this all season long. It was my favorite game growing up in beautiful Hobart, Indiana, and lots of memories of this game. Certainly one that I go back in time. My junior year, we were 9-1 at Hobart. My senior year, we were 9-1 at Hobart, and in both of those 2 seasons, the Merrillville Pirates got in the way of 2 perfect seasons. So it's one of those situations where it is what it is, and I'm excited about what we're going to be able to see here tonight.
A lot of our audience, if they've just started following us here on Regional Radio Sports, may not remember, but this was the matchup that opened this place that we're sitting in tonight. Back in, I believe it was 92 or 93. So they opened this facility. I believe every seat was taken. That probably won't be the case tonight, but it is a beautiful night, so it certainly wouldn't. There's certainly lots of room and lots of time to get out here. But yeah, it was it's been a great region rivalry. A lot of classic games between these two. These kids this is only the 5th year since they've renewed the rivalry, so they haven't worked up a good angst for one another, you might say, these last few years. But the fact that Merrillville has won 4 straight maybe will put a little bit extra fire in the Bricky burner tonight.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. I'm excited to see one particular matchup, the Randall, that we're going to see here today. One being we're going to get a chance to watch Zach Bloom, a 5'9", 175-pound senior for Hobart High School. His dad was a sensational football player at Hobart. As a matter of fact, Zach himself personally played in 49 games for the Brickies. His son, Zach, has had a difficult time, Doug Bloom. Dougie played 49 games as a varsity athlete. His son, Zach, had all kinds of injury. Has only played 9 games because of injury. Both of his last 2 years have been cut short with injury. I'm looking forward to that matchup. But, Randy, I remember when you were growing up, Craig Osika and Doug Bloom were 2 of the names that you can remember from your childhood days.
Yeah, and Coach Howell was Bricky Bowl. Now they don't play at the Bricky Bowl, which kind of is a little sting still to me. The last time I was here as a high school player was my sophomore year. We lost 17-11 on a tipped ball that had absolutely no way that all we had to do was knock the ball down and we would have won. Ball got tipped in the air, and like Miracle and Jordan Hare, pretty much, and the guy just untouched into the end zone with with 22 seconds to go in the game.
Yeah, Merrillville, Hobart, there's a lot of sting in those memories, but it's been a great matchup, a lot of great athletes. We'll talk with both of our coaches throughout the course of the pregame show. The 31st season of American Tackle Football on Regional Radio Sports is brought to you in part by Spectrum Financial Group in Hobart, registered investment advisor located in downtown Hobart since 1984. The United States Marine Corps, home is where my commitment begins. Around the world is where it continues. The United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines. Qubit Networks, your technology advocate for security, communications, enterprising networks, and computer support. Horizon Bank. At Horizon, exceptional service, sensible advice since 1873. State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
Engravables, your headquarters for awards, trophies, plaques, located at 2005 Calumet Avenue in Valpo. Greener's Motor Sales. Discover your dream, Jeep or Ram, on US 30 in Valparaiso. Scotty Miller, 5-star real estate broker for the Pursue Realty Group and Berkshire Hathaway HS Executive Realty. Ivy Tech Lake County, with locations throughout our area, in East Chicago, Gary, and then some. Centier Bank, home of the high school and college student checking program. Check that out. That's important. Personal injury attorney Dave Cox. If you're hurt in a wreck, call Cox. Also want to thank our friends at Tech Credit Union, the better option for personal and business banking. Bozak Honda, proud recipient of the 22 Honda President Award for Excellence, is better at Bozak. First Trust Credit Union of Valpo, LaPorte, Wheatfield, and Michigan City. Friedman and Associates in LaPorte, serving Northwest Indiana since 1984. The McEwen Law Office, located in the heart of Portage at 6382 Central Avenue. The best things come in small practices. Auto Value Parts at 651 East US Highway 20 in Michigan City. The Indiana Football Digest. We also want to thank our friends at Forest Ridge Family Dentistry and Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Paste Department. Glad you can hop along for our broadcast here tonight. When we come back after the timeout, the Football Friday pregame rolls here from Demery Stadium. Thanks for joining us for the 49th meeting all time between the Bricks and the Bucks. We'll be back in 2 on WEFM and Regional Radio Sports.
If the world we live in spoke to you, it would have a torrent of things to say. It would say meaning is subjective. Belonging, just opt in. Be sure to comment and like. It would say follow us, provide purpose. We say there is another path, where you battle to belong, where there's a cause to fight for, where you earn a place among the few, the proud, the Marines. Learn more at marines.com.
Have you checked out Centier Bank's student checking account? This no-fee checking account is perfect for students and teens ages 14 to 24 and comes with all the features you need to succeed, such as a debit card, digital banking, and automatic deposit. Centier Bank can help you start establishing good spending habits today for your better tomorrow. For more information, visit Centier.com/student-checking or visit your local branch. If you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian must also sign on the Centier student checking account. At the age of 25, your account will automatically convert to the Centier checking account. You must deposit $25 to open this account. This account is not eligible for overdraft advantage. Member FDIC.
You can buy technology from anyone, but Qubit Networks is the difference that you have been looking for. They strive to provide highly innovative solutions to your unique technology needs. Qubit Networks is passionate about you, and they are dedicated to making your purchase a great experience and one you will never forget. For more information, call 219-369-4357. That's 219-369-4357, or visit them on the web at www.qubitnet.com.
A community isn't just a bunch of people living in the same place. A community is when those people form bonds built on mutual respect and trust. Horizon Bank is a community bank. We build relationships over time with exceptional service and sensible advice. With advisors who listen to your dreams, then work to turn them into a reality. Come in today or visit us at horizonbank.com and let us show you. Horizon Bank. Before we lend, we listen. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Well, welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. We're broadcasting live and in living color tonight from Demery Stadium here in Merrillville, Indiana. Glad you can hop along for our final non-league matchup between this one, the non-league matchup put together by Merrillville and Hobart here today. As we alluded to earlier, Hobart leads the all-time series 28-19-1. Last time Hobart defeated Merrillville was 14-12. In 2000, in a game here at Demery Stadium. And to put it to this in perspective, none of the guys that are playing in this game for Hobart, they weren't even born yet. Put that in perspective. Merrillville's won 4 straight sectionals. Hobart has been in the sectional title game the last 4 years. Brad Cease has never lost to Hobart. Craig Osika has not beaten Merrillville as a coach. However, as a player, the Bucks, during his 10th, 11th, and 12th grade season, he won all the games he played against Merrillville from 95 to 97. So there's a lot of stuff. Frank, last week between these two teams, you tell me about the Andren-Merrillville game as the Pirates were able to take care of business. I think the thing that impressed me is the fact that you look at the defensive numbers, minus 27 total yards by the Merrillville defense. I realized that Andren decided they were going to throw the ball over the yards, so it was really kind of one-dimensional. But, you know, you hold somebody to minus yards, you're pretty good.
Yeah, and Merrillville bringing back a lot defensively as well. A couple of especially led by Roshan McGee on the defensive line. He's an all-stater coming back this year. Their defense looks like they're off to a great start. 40-13 victory. The offense did pick it up. I think after a bit of a slow start, Dante Pope had a solid game though all the way around. He was 13 out of 18, 213 yards. He also had 76 yards on the ground, a couple of rushing touchdowns for the Pirates, and J.Q. Johnson, 20 carries, 130 yards here as Merrillville, I believe it was their 6th straight victory over the Niners.
They've owned that series as of late.
As of late, yeah, in opening the season.
Randall, you take a look at this Chesterton game that the Brickies were able to win. Tell us about how the Brickies were able to prevail against CHS last week.
Oh, it's bend but don't break defense. A couple plays here and there. They came up huge on a 4th down late in the game. They got enough plays when they needed to, with T.J. Caldwell coming up huge with 6 receptions, 122 yards, and a touchdown. They averaged pretty much balanced offense, 142 on the ground and 141 through the air. So tonight they're going to need a huge game from T.J. Caldwell.
Our coverage today being presented in part by our good friend Scott Miller. And look no further. If you're in the market to buy or sell a new home, my main man, Scott Miller, is the guy to get a hold of. Scotty Miller is a 5-star rated broker with numerous awards and accolades, such as the top 1% of all teams within Berkshire Hathaway nationally, the top 15% HomeSnap agent nationwide, recent recipient of the HomeSnap Excellence in Client Service Award. Based on his numerous client reviews, he is the official realtor of Hometown Jam. Scotty's also the Pursue Realties Group top producing agent. Scott, born and raised in Northwest Indiana, an honest, hardworking guy who believes in the communication with his clients are the key. Scott enjoys spending time with his family, and he wants to make your life easier so you can spend more time with your family with a great new home. If you want results, call Scott Miller, the realtor of the Pursue Realty Group and Berkshire Hathaway Executive Realty, at 219-263-3039. Don't forget to visit my guy, Scott Miller, at his website, listandbuywithscottmiller.com. For the results that move you in the market to buy, sell, or both, you know what time it is. Frank Kilpikowski.
Sure do. It's Scott Miller time.
We're glad you joined us here today for this one.
Some other stuff from last week, Paul, just wanted to bring up before we go to I know we got to get to a break, but the dueling conference, a little disappointing. I thought they'd do a little bit better than 4-4 last week. A couple upsets and a couple that just didn't go the local team's way. Look for them to bounce back this week. And I kind of find it funny that the Northwest Conference was 3-4. All 3 teams that begin with H were the winners last week: Hobart, Highland, and Hanover.
Interesting enough. When we take a 2-minute timeout, we'll come back, and Frank will tell you about where the top teams are playing around the great state of Indiana this week. We're live from Demery Stadium, Merrillville, Hobart tonight. Glad you can join us here on WEFM 95.9 FM. The 31st season of American Tackle Football on Regional Radio Sports continues in 2 minutes on WEFM.
State Farm Insurance asked, what if you're walking out to your car and it's been mashed by a runaway garbage truck? Having a State Farm agent means having a real person to help you when things go wrong. So when accidents happen, you've got someone you know who will be there when you need them. See Connie Bernardi, 1072 Joliet Street, U.S. Highway 30 in Dyer. Call Connie at 219-322-9959. State Farm agent Greg Taylor is at 794 McCool Road in Valparaiso. Call Greg at 219-762-4911. And Dave Ross, 450 West Lincoln Way, Suite 210 Valparaiso, 464-3581.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
First home, dream home, forever home. Tech Credit Union has the right home loan for you. Their loan officers can help you purchase a home, refinance your current mortgage, or unlock your home's equity to get cash out for any purpose. Let Tech Credit Union show you why they are a better option for a home loan. Learn more at www.techcu.org or call toll-free 1-800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union is an equal housing lender and federally insured by the NCUA.
Engravables is your local source for team trophies, plaques, and awards. They're located at 2005 Calumet Avenue in Valparaiso. They are also your local headquarters for badges, ID tags, and signage, gift items, and rubber stamps. Engravables has expanded into promotional products such as pens, calendars, drinkware, and giveaways for your business. For more information, visit their website at engravables.net or call Engravables at 219-477-5656.
Welcome back here on WEFM. Paul Country along with the crew. Frank Hilpikowski joining me for season number 31. Randall Country, well, he's been a little bit a part of this throughout the course of his life, outside of that time that he spent in the United States Marine Corps, where we were thinking about him every Friday night, Frank, weren't we?
Yes, we were.
When he was away, serving our great country. And, of course, speaking of great, we've got some great matchups around the Hoosier State. Let's start with the big boys today, since we're playing a little big boy football tonight. Where you got in 6A tonight?
Since 6A, actually we got a really good matchup right off the top, Paul. Cathedral off an impressive win last week. They're on the road at number 7, Brownsburg. Should be a pretty good game right there down in the Circle City area. Hamilton Southeast checks in at number 2 this week. They'll be at North Central. Ben Davis, really nice win last week against Cincinnati Moeller. They're at number 3 this week. They'll battle Avon. Center Grove with the loss on Saturday drops to number 4. They played Oakland of Tennessee back in Indianapolis this week. Fisher's up to number 5. They'll be at Pike. Westfield is at number 6. They'll be at Lawrence Central in a good one. We mentioned Brownsburg at 7. Penn, fresh off their win over Valpo, they're taking on Mishawaka and trailing in the early going there. Crown Point is at number 9, hosting Chicago Taft. We'll get into that in the local schedule as well. And Carmel checks in at number 10, taking on Christian Brothers out of Missouri.
The McEwen Law Office, located at 6382 Central Avenue in Portage, litigates personal injury, wrongful death, medical malpractice, civil, eminent domain, personal and commercial real estate cases. Attorney Patrick McEwen specializes in business law, estates, wills and probate, corporations, partnerships, family law, and life and home and auto insurance coverage disputes. Call them today at 219-762-7738. Check them out on their website at www.mcewenlaw.com. At McEwen Law Office, the best things come in small practices, Frank.
New team on top in 5A with the loss by Valpo. Snyder moves up to number 1. They'll be in Kendallville tonight taking on East Noble. Bloomington South at number 2. They'll take on Martinsville. Whiteland, last year's runner-up, they're at number 3. Good matchup at home against Kokomo. They're in the 4A poll. We'll get to them. Pirates of Merrillville right here to our left doing jumping jacks. They're at number 4. They'll be battling the Brickies. Lafayette Harrison at number 5. They'll be at number 10, Plainfield, into the poll for the first time. We mentioned Mishawaka. They're at number 6. Decatur Central is at number 7. Tough one for them tonight, hosting New Pal. They're in the 4A poll as well. Valpo, with the loss last week, drops all the way down to number 8. We'll talk more about this matchup. They're just right down the road at Father Eckert Stadium, taking on Andrean for the very first time in the matchup in either school's history. And Franklin is at number 9. They'll be at Mount Vernon of Fortville. Your future is waiting at Ivy Tech Lake County. From information technology to healthcare, automotive, and hospitality, Ivy Tech Lake County has programs designed to get you where you need to be, so you're ready for the job you want. We have new classes starting in October, so come in and register today. Call 219-392-3600 or visit ivytech.edu/Lake County and enroll today. Your future begins this fall at Ivy Tech Lake County. 4A poll has East Central remaining on top. The Trojans will host Harrison out of Ohio. Evansville Wrights is at number 2. They'll host the Alices of Vincennes. Northwood comes to Porter County for the first time in nearly a decade. They're in the region. They'll be at Portage this evening. Kokomo, we mentioned their battle at Whiteland tonight. Kokomo is at number 4. Evansville Memorial's at number 5, hosting Evansville North. Roncalli is at number 6. They'll be at Franklin County. Greenfield's at number 7. They'll be at Greensburg. Northview is at number 8, hosting Greencastle. Columbia City into the poll after a great year last year where they won a sectional championship. The Eagles are at number 9, hosting Plymouth. And we mentioned New Palestine. They'll be at Decatur Central, and New Pal is at number 10. Moving on to Class 3A, Chittard remains on top there. They will be at Indianapolis Tech. Guerin Catholic all the way up to number 2 this week. They're hosting Lafayette Central Catholic, who is in the 2A poll, but they're not in 2A anymore. We'll get to that at some point tonight. Hanover Central, their highest ranking ever that I can recall. The Wildcats at number 3. They'll be hosting Hammond Morton. Lawrenceburg is at number 4. They'll be across in Ohio taking on Taylor. Gibson Southern's at number 5. They'll be at Mount Carmel of Illinois. Not the Caravan, the other Mount Carmel down in southern Indiana. Western Boone's at number 6. They'll be at Western, that rivalry. Monrovia is at number 7, hosting Phelan Academy. Danville's at number 8, hosting Mooresville. Knox into the poll at number 9. They'll be at Mechaniqua. And Tri-West, the Bruins at number 10. They'll be at Indianapolis Brebeuf, Paul.
Our coverage of high school football today being presented in part by personal injury attorney Dave Cox. He proudly supports region football and wishes all of our region teams the best of luck. Hope you never need his services, but if you're hurt in a wreck, call Cox. Attorney Cox is one of the best in the business, ladies and gentlemen. Attorney Cox, a life member of the $1 Million Advocates Forum, dedicated to representing seriously injured victims of negligence and getting fair and just results. Once again, he wishes best of luck to the Bricks tonight. For a free consultation and to discuss his best game plan in your case, call him or text him at 219-CALLCOX. That's 219-225-5269, or check him out online at davecoxlaw.com. Cox Law Office located at 8792 East Ridge Road in Hobart.
Class 2A, where Evansville Mater Dei, last year's champ, is still on top. A tough one tonight on the road at Castle down in Evansville. Triton Central at number 2. They're hosting Newcastle. Central Catholic, we mentioned they're at Guerin Catholic. They're at number 3. Eastbrook's at number 4. They'll be at Fort Wayne Concordia. Heritage Christian at number 5, hosting Shenandoah. Rochester looking good thus far. They're at number 6, hosting Tippecanoe Valley. LaVille is at number 7, hosting Triton this evening. North Posey is at number 8. They will be at Princeton. Fort Wayne Lures is at number 9. They'll be hosting New Haven. We mentioned Andrean. The Niners hosting Valpo. They're at number 10. And finally, Class 1A. These two teams at the top are going to be here, I believe, all year long. Lutheran is at number 1. They'll be at Cardinal Ritter. Adams Central at number 2. They'll be at Eastside. Carroll of Florida checks in at number 3, hosting Riverton Park. North Decatur, after a win last week, they'll be at Eastern Hancock. They're at number 4. South Adams jumps up the poll to number 5. They'll host Belmont. Park Tudor also up a couple of spots. They're at number 6, taking on Indianapolis Tinley. South Putnam is at number 7, hosting Owen Valley. Sheridan is at number 8, hosting North Miami. A chance for Larry Bud Wright to get win number 448, I believe it is, this evening. Covenant Christian at number 9, hosting Greenwood Christian, and North Judson at number 10, taking on Caston. Speaking of coaching wins, Penn has tied up Mishawaka 7-7. Corey Yeoman going for win number 200 tonight.
In addition to that, a win for Corey Yeoman and Penn. Penn would be the first team in school in the history of high school football in Indiana that would produce 200 career win guys.
Wow.
Coach Giesman, 330 plus, and then of course Corey with the win tonight or tomorrow or whenever it's going to be. That would be win number 200.
It's going to happen at some point.
Certainly will be.
That's amazing.
We're live at Demery. Bricks, Bucks, that's all you need to know. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Football Friday pregame show rolls on. We got an interview with our coaches. That's coming your way after the timeout. More things coming your way on Regional Radio Sports.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and a proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
For a quarter century, Forest Ridge Family Dentistry in Schererville has been serving the dental, cosmetic, and restorative needs of Northwest Indiana and the Chicagoland suburbs. Most dental insurances are accepted and financing options are available. I have put my trust in their skilled hands since 1986. So why don't you schedule that appointment today at 219-756-2345 or look them up on the web at forestridgefamilydentistry.com. Mention that you heard this ad and receive a special discount at Forest Ridge Family Dentistry, 7303 Forest Ridge Drive in Schererville for all your dental needs.
Your hometown credit union. People helping people. First Trust Credit Union.
First Trust Credit Union can help you score big with a game plan to support all your financial needs. Our lineup includes accounts, loans, and 24/7 online banking. So get off the bench and contact your hometown First Trust Credit Union team today at 800-276-6161 or firsttrustcu.com.
Welcome back here on WEFM. I'm Paul County along with Frank Gilpakowski. Randall County. Special thanks to our crew here, to Fast Freddy Maxie over there. Tiny County is going to have all the details, and she's taking care of our crews. We've got games all over the Hoosier State tonight, and we'll have updates throughout the state, throughout the course of the evening. Don't forget, coming up after the game, Bob Lovell and the big show, Network Indiana. Also, why I've got you on my mind, don't forget to check out www.colts.com. We just released an article that we wrote on Auden Jones, the All-State center from Penn High School, who we saw last week dismantle the Vikings. He played very, very well. But some big games, and let's lead with that. Vikings, I mentioned Vikings. We'll be with them next week when they take on LaPorte. But they are at 5959 Broadway, and it's the first time Bill Marshall's ever been there. I talked with him this afternoon. He's excited to be able to see his team play tonight.
It's the first time Valparaiso High School has been there, and these two region powers, if you will, both obviously they were in the state finals, each of them last year. Valpo winning state and Andrean falling to Mater Dei. However, they won state the year before. But listen to some of these numbers, Paul, between these, just to get people up to date. If you don't know how successful Valpo and Andrean have been in the last 5 years. Valpo in the regular overall 41-8. That's tops in the area in 83.7 win percentage. Merrillville is actually second, but then Andrean is third, 53-15 with a 7.79. So basically a 78% winning percentage. So roughly an 80% winning percentage between those two schools the last 5 years. And the two coaches, you want to talk about success, Paul. Chris Skinner at Andrean, 7 years. He's gone 66-26, so not too shabby. 72% winning percentage. He's won 4 sectionals, 3 regionals, 2 semi-states, and a state title. Bill Marshall, we've talked about him, quite a bit, having done many of his ball games. Last 5 years, 52-12 and 81% win percentage. 5 sectional titles, 2 regionals, 2 semi-states, and winning state last year. So in 12 years combined, Paul, these two coaches have won 9 sectionals, 5 regionals, 4 semi-states, and 2 state titles. And you think about those kind of that kind of success. You're thinking about older coaches. You're thinking about Phil Mason, maybe comparing Phil Mason and and some other Craig Buzier or a Kirk Kennedy or something like that in the area as far as success of that magnitude. And these guys have done it in 12 years. We want to thank Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department. They're proud to support Crown Point Bulldogs football. They say, go Bulldogs. Tonight they're hosting Chicago Taft from Illinois. Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in city services, and encouraging smart growth. Mayor Land and the Pace team invite everyone to Bulldog Park for a variety of concerts, including next Saturday, I believe it is, include Lone Star with special guest Jameson Rogers, September 3rd. Maybe that's Sunday. I think it is. For more information, contact the Pace Department, 219-661-2271. And let's go over the other games in the region tonight, as well as some games in the Michiana area. Boone Grove looking to bounce back, get into the win column. They got a pretty good chance taking on South Bend Clay this evening in South Bend. Bowman Academy taking on IC Catholic Prep. Both those teams in their season opener this week. We mentioned Chicago Taft is at Bulldog Field taking on Crown Point. Culver is at South Central. Hammond Morton is at Hanover Central. Highland at Whiting. One of those schools is going to be 2-0 for first time in quite some time. Of course, the game right here at Demery, Hobart, and Merrillville. Lake Station is at West Central. LaPorte, what a win last week, a thriller last week against New Prairie. They'll look to go 2-0 for the first time, I believe, in a decade, as they'll be at the Inferno taking on Lowell. That game on rrsn.com. Michigan City will look to bounce back at Lafayette Jeff. Munster at Griffith. We mentioned Northwood in the area. Taking on Portage. Osceola Grace at Bishop Knoll. Paul, do you know that Bishop Knoll hasn't gone 2-0 since the final year of Jerry Vlasic's tenure in 1996? So it's been a while since Knoll was 2-0. They got a shot tonight over in Hammond. Providence Catholic out of Illinois taking on Lake Central, who looked good last week. River Forest at Calumet. TF South at Hammond Central. That game will be played tomorrow. We mentioned Valpo and Andrean. Warsaw will be in the area taking on Chesterton. Wheeler at KV. That game also on rrsn.com. And also tomorrow, Westside is at East Chicago Central.
We're going to take a timeout, come back, and we'll go one-on-one with the visiting coach tonight. The head coach of the Hobart Rookies, Craig Osika, will join us here after the timeout. Coming up a little bit later on in the pregame show, we'll go one-on-one with Brad Cease. But Craig Osika, 1998 grad of Hobart High School, went to Indiana University, played for the legendary Cam Cameron and our good friend Mark Deal. Craig, 46 wins and 17 losses. He's only the 15th coach in the history of Hobart football, which began back in 1927. We'll be back with more. The Football Friday pregame show with the coach's comments coming your way right after this on WEFM, 95.9 FM, and www.rsn.com, and the Regional Radio Sports Network.
The key to competing and winning is hard work, preparation, and persistence. At Friedman & Associates, we believe in the same principles. Our law firm has been here since 1984, providing legal counsel on a range of issues, including employment matters, juvenile law, traffic DUI matters, accident injury cases, school law, and family matters. If it's not an area of law we practice in, we can refer you to someone who can assist your needs. Friedman & Associates, prepared, persistent, and hardworking.
For the past 95 years, Northwest Indiana has been trusting the Bozak name for automotive sales and service. During that time, the Auto Group expanded from one brand and location to 12 brands in 9 locations today, all under one common name, the Bozak Auto Group. Whether you drive for work or pleasure, Bozak's unrivaled inventory of over 1,900 new and pre-owned cars and trucks has what you need. With over 5,000 5-star Google reviews, see why it's better at Bozak.
Summer's here, and it's time to hit the road. But before you do, here's some essential summer car care tips. First, check your tire pressure and make sure your tires are properly inflated. Second, top off your engine coolant to prevent overheating. Third, replace your wiper blades for better visibility during summer rainstorms. And finally, keep your car clean and waxed to protect the paint from the sun's harmful UV rays. Shop summer essentials at your local Auto Value store or myautovaluestore.com. Service is the difference. We get it.
Have you checked out Centier Bank's student checking account? This no-fee checking account is perfect for students and teens ages 14 to 24 and comes with all the features you need to succeed, such as a debit card, digital banking, and automatic deposit. Centier Bank can help you start establishing good spending habits today for your better tomorrow. For more information, visit Centier.com/student-checking or visit your local branch. If you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian must also sign on the Centier student checking account. At the age of 25, your account will automatically convert to the Centier checking account. You must deposit $25 to open this account. This account is not eligible for overdraft advantage. Member FDIC.
Welcome back here on WFM. Glad you can hop along with us here today on Regional Radio Sports for the Football Friday pregame show. And as always, it's great to be able to visit with our coaches on the pregame show, and I was able to hook up with Craig Osika the head football coach of the Hobart Brickies, just about 10 minutes ago, filed this report. Regional Radio Sports, Paul County with Craig Osika prior to today's great non-league matchup between Merrillville and Hobart. My favorite game of my lifetime is this one, and it's one that I'm so glad that you put back on the schedule. Thanks for that. Let's just talk about what you remember. I can tell you this. You never lost to Merrillville in your career, at least the last 3 years, your sophomore, junior, and senior year. So you've had a good record. However, on the coaching side, that's not been as fun. So talk to me about what you got to do to get a win here tonight.
Well, I think that you just look at we schedule this game because we know it's going to create adversity for us, and I want to see how our guys are going to handle the adversity that we get from a game like this. I told them before we lose. I mean, we got nothing to lose. They're going to be more athletic. They're going to be faster than us. They're probably going to be bigger than us. So let's go out there and play our game. And that's why we put it on the schedule, just kind of really see where we're at after week 2 and see the things that we got to work on going into conference play.
Give us an idea what you were happy with and what was still much of a concern after the win against Chesterton.
Well, I think that you still got a long way to go. There was a lot of things I was happy with, but there's a lot of takeaways, too. I was happy with our physicality. I was happy with the way that we got to the ball. I really told the guys that even when we were down, there was no sense of, like, that some teams get tense when they're down. There was none of that tension on the sideline. They just went out there and played, and I think that's a testament to them, and I think that's a sign of good things to come for this team.
All right, let's talk about the offense. One game into this, you're on quarterback. He got his first varsity start, got himself a win. By the numbers, they look pretty good.
Yeah, I was happy with Johnny. Johnny came in and played well. He's done a great job ever since he came to us. He's been a leader on this team so far. His passing has gotten better every day that he's been with us. That's something that he's been working on. But I'm excited for him to get into a second game. I think he was a little nervous and a little tense in that first game, but I think he gets rolling here. I think better things are going to come.
Brad Gibson defensively, by the numbers, if he has those kind of games like he had against Chesterton, he's going to be an all-world performer. Talk about his maturation.
Well, I think with Brad, too, I mean, he's a guy that started for us last year, and we expect big things out of him this year. We expect him to be the leader in our defense. He stepped up and done that, and, we just expect him to get better week in and week out.
Greg, you've got about a half a dozen guys that are probably going to go both ways tonight. Let's talk about getting ready for this game in regards to all the heat and all that kind of stuff, as well as playing against a very, very physical Merrillville team.
Well, I think that this week presented some adversity. We were forced to go inside Wednesday and Thursday, so we practiced in the field house. We were not allowed to be outside. And I thought we handled it well. We got some pretty productive practices indoors, which is not always easy to do. But our guys were focused, and we got some work done. That's what I talk about. This I told them from the get-go. This week's going to be all about adversity. Who's going to handle it? How are we going to handle it? What side of the ball is going to handle it? And I told them before I left, that's what my notes are on my call sheet's going to be. Who handled the adversity, who didn't.
All right, let's break this down real simply. Offense, defense, special teams. What particular guy or a group of guys have got to make plays in those three areas?
Well, I think you look at we got to be solid up front. We got to protect the Johnny, and we got to open lanes for the running backs. If those guys come out and play and do what they're supposed to do, trust their assignments, trust their gaps, I think we're going to be okay. Defensively, we have to contain Merrillville speed. Obviously, we can't let them get behind us. We have to do our jobs. We always tell the kid, do your job, don't do more than you're supposed to. That's when we open up lanes and allow big plays to happen. Special teams, we just got to continue to get better.
Final question, when you look back on the opportunity to coach in this game as well as play in this game with some of the amazing coaches that have coached on the Merrillville side as well as on the Hobart side, there's a dozen Hall of Famers that have been involved in this series. That's an amazing amount of coaches.
Well, I just think you look at the coaches and the caliber of players that have played in this series throughout the years. I mean, from the Jamal Williams to the Blooms to to me, and there's a lot of talent that's been on the field playing in these games. In the 80s and 90s, when we're going back to those wars, and like you said, the coaching that has been done on this field too is awesome, and it's one of the greatest rivalries I think in the state of Indiana, and it's a fun game to play, not only play in but also coach in.
Once again, special thanks to Craig Osika for joining us. Up Hobart, of course, last year, 8 wins and 4 losses. They 4-1 in the conference, lost 49-28 at home versus New Prairie in the 4A sectional title tilt. Hobart with an enrollment of 1326 last count, and of course Hobart football history. They began playing back in 1927. This is the 97th consecutive season of Bricky football. Hobart is 657, 326-18 with an all-time playoff record of 106-40. This is the 1,002nd consecutive game in Hobart football history. They've won 22 sectionals, 17 regionals, 10 semi-state, 8 state runners-up, 4 state championships, 17 Duneland Conference championships, and 5 Northwest Crossroads titles, and, of course, coaching staff, a great group of guys, including our good friend and broadcast partner for many, many years, and will be with us when he retires back in the booth, offensive coordinator Steve McIntyre. Also getting some help out there from defensive whiz Eric Schreiber Jr., Sean Zolads, Terrence Turner, Dave Tippold, Bob Segudovic, Adam Harmon, Dougie Bloom, Billy Manilopoulos, a couple of all-world performers there, right? David Cosby, all-state performer, Donnie Rogers, Tom Kerr, Peyton Schreiber, and Gerald Valenzuela. I was a member of that coaching staff. Of course, the Bricks with a win 16-13. This will be their final non-league game before they lock and load against Munster coming up next week. We'll meet after this 2-minute timeout. We'll go one-on-one with Brad Cease and the Merrillville Pirates. Football Friday pregame rolls on in 2 minutes on 95.9 FM WEFM.
Searching for meaning in a relentless world. But there is another path where the battle to belong begins. Awakened by a calling, united by purpose, defined by the cause you fight for. No one can take away what it means to be among the few, the proud, the Marines. Learn more at marines.com.
In a world where cybercrime is continually on the rise, Qubit Networks is there to help you with the necessary tools to keep your digital assets and environment safe. Qubit Networks takes computer security seriously, and so should you. For more information, call 219-369-4357 or visit them on the web at www.qubitnet.com.
A community isn't just a bunch of people living in the same place. A community is when those people form bonds built on mutual respect and trust. Horizon Bank is a community bank. We build relationships over time with exceptional service and sensible advice. With advisors who listen to your dreams, then work to turn them into a reality. Come in today or visit us at horizonbank.com and let us show you. Horizon Bank. Before we lend, we listen. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Engravables is your local source for team trophies, plaques, and awards. They're located at 2005 Kellyman Avenue in Valparaiso. They are also your local headquarters for badges, ID tags, and signage, gift items, and rubber stamps. Engravables has expanded into promotional products such as pens, calendars, drinkware, and giveaways for your business. For more information, visit their website at engravables.net or call Engravables at 219-477-5656.
Pirates, Bricks. That's all you need to know tonight here on WEFM and Regional Radio Sports. Paul Condry, the head coach of the Merrillville Pirates, Brad Cease. Brad, I know I've said this to you every time we've talked about this game. This was my favorite game in high school. Merrillville beat the Bricks both my sophomore and junior years. And those were our only 2 losses those 2 years. We finished 9-1. And so this has always been the greatest rivalry. And obviously the teams have switched leagues, but the history of this league, the Duneland Conference, when the Brickies were in it, was amazing. I can tell you that. I know you're not into that because this is you're in the now, but this is still, you had to give me one game, only one game to do, this would be it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as much as we're into the now, we're very fortunate at Merrillville that we've had great football tradition. So when you talk Merrillville football tradition, the Brickies get brought up, especially some of those battles, and it was typically later in the year, when DAC ramifications were in play, and then, obviously the chance to go a long way in the tournament, and from the sound of it, the DAC set up Hobart for great success in the tournament, when they had those long runs and everything. So it's exciting. Year 5 of playing them again, and we're definitely excited to finish off our little 2-game slate of non-conference foes before we head into DAC play.
What were you happy with the performance defensively, offensive, special teams against Sandra?
You know what? We're a young team. We start 16, 17 juniors and below. I know a junior is considered an upperclassman, but if you haven't been a starter on a Friday night, that's you got to get used to the speed of the game, the pressure, the being under the lights, all that stuff, and we started a little bit slow against Andrean. We had way too many penalties, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But we kind of found our ground. Our quarterback Dante Pope is a great leader. He was efficient through the air. He was 12 for 15. Added another couple touchdown runs. He's a very elusive guy. We were able to establish the run with J.Q. Johnson. So offensively, we really, minus the penalties, did a pretty good job for week one. Defensively, it's kind of hard to tell. Andrean didn't really attempt to run the ball that much, so that's a little bit of a fear this week. Going against Hobart is just how well did our linebackers fit the run, and we kind of just played one phase of the game, a little of defense there. So we've got to make sure that we're good with our fits and all that heading into this game.
Okay, I know you've looked at the film and their win against Chesterton. What concerns you about this Hobart team?
Offensively, they hit a big one in the run game with their quarterback on a read play, and then T.J. Caldwell is an explosive guy down the field. Caught some big catches for them. So obviously those guys are their two big names. I really like their tailback. I think he's quick and runs well. So we know that we've got to control the line of scrimmage with our defensive line and fit the run well and get them into obvious passing situations where we can blitz if we want to, play coverage if we want to, kind of dictate how we want to play. Defensively, typical Hobart team. They play really hard, good tackling team, play physical. Not one player particularly stands out, but as a unit, they played really good defensive football, holding Chesterton to 13 points, which holding somebody to 13 nowadays is a good number. They had a solid week one win.
Break this down real simple. Offense, defense, special teams. Is there one particular area that, hey, listen, we have to be better if we're going to be able to win tonight as well as contend for the DAC crown?
I think still this early in the year, it's about not making mistakes. Turnovers play a huge role. So for us, it's just playing a cleaner football game. I mean, we had one turnover offensively. We forced two defensively last week. So obviously, winning the turnover battle is big. It's a huge stat line to dictate winning. But just obviously not making big mistakes. Our kicking game was relatively clean last week, so we want to make sure that we're continuing to progress there. And you see a lot of progress from teams week one to week two. And we want to make a big jump in our level of play compared to last week.
Best of luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more of high school football right after this from Merrillville High School on Regional Radio Sports.
State Farm Insurance asks, if you're feeling stuck in a state of compensation stagnation, another year with no raise, then let State Farm help you get to a better state with a discount double check that can stretch your hard-earned dollars a little farther. They'll go through your car insurance to make sure you're getting all the discounts you deserve. Discounts could add up to 40% and put a few $100 extra in your pocket. Discounts may vary state to state. Danny DeTola, 2449 45th Street, Highland, 963-4444. Andrea Harbin, 6504 U.S. Highway 6 Portage, 762-5514. And Robert Dacus, 835 Lincoln Way Avenue, Valparaiso, 476-7444.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's time you start earning more on your deposits. Tech Credit Union's Money Mover Savings and Certificates of Deposit can help you do just that. Offering better than competitive rates and the personal service you deserve, now is a great time to look at your savings strategy. Let Tech Credit Union show you why they're a better option for you and for your money. Learn more at www.techcu.org or call 1-800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA.
Dr. John Szymanski is an exclusive Lumineers dentist. He can give you a dramatic new smile without the painful tooth grinding of traditional veneers. Lumineers porcelain veneers painlessly and permanently create perfect smiles without dreadful shots or removal of painful tooth structure. Whether your teeth are stained, unevenly spaced, or crooked, even if you have crowns or bridge work, Lumineers eliminate the trauma of invasive dental procedures to bring you a dramatically more beautiful smile. Contact Dr. John Szymanski today at 219-756-2345 and mention that you heard this ad to receive a special discount at Forest Ridge Family Dentistry.
Back live here at Demery Stadium, the band of Pirates out on the field. Senior night festivities getting underway. We talked about Merrillville, Hobart last year. Bucks 9-3, lost at Valpo 15-14 at the regional. As a matter of fact, let's do this. Let's head on down to the field for the playing of the Star Spangled Banner. The legendary voice of Coach Brian Past, who's the boys soccer coach here, as well as a member of our regional radio sports broadcast team for many, many years. We're going to have the presentation of the colors here at our broadcast location at historic Demery Stadium. Enjoy. Once again, glad you can hop along here today. Glad to have the Marine with us, Randall Condry. We want to say hi to one of my all-time favorite Marines listening tonight from North Carolina, the great David Josephorski, quarterback extraordinaire, listening tonight. And David, thanks for your service. Just recently retired, but we talk about Merrillville history. Oh my! Of course, Brad Cease has done a spectacular job. The 2002 Warsaw product, 2007 Ball State, 76 wins, 49 losses in 12 seasons, including a 63-32 mark here at Merrillville. He's only the 7th coach in Bucks history. Merrillville started playing in 1946. This is the 78th consecutive football season for the Merrillville Pirates. And, of course, 529 wins, 275 losses, and 14 ties. This is the 819th football game in the history of Merrillville. They've won 16 sectionals, 9 regionals, 1 state championships, 13 Duneling Conference titles, 2 Lake Suburban championships, and they've won 5 Calumet Conference championships. Assistants, including defensive whiz Josh Sabinas. I talked with him before the ball game. His son, they live in Hobart. His son's a part of the Pop Warner program over there. Josh Wisting, the offensive corner. Anthony Curry, Brian West, Denzel Pierce, Anthony Atria, Pat Winters, Delapo McCarthy, Connor Buxton, Ben Faulkner, Jacob Van Doren, Dontrell Pope, William Fulton, Tom Kelly, Xavier Shell, and Cam Mitchell. Frank, those names sound familiar because we saw them play here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I recognize an awful lot of them from their playing days.
Let's take a look at our starting lineups today. Starting lineups today being presented in part by our friends at Spectrum Financial Group. Jeff Larimore, a registered independent advisor since 1984, located at 607 East 3rd Street. Let's take a look at our lineups. First of all, for the visiting offense for the Brickies, this starts up front with number 71, Aiden Olige, a 5'11", 270-pound senior. He's flanked on the left side by number 66, Josh Diaz, a 6'1", 235-pound sophomore. And left tackle number 58, Patrick O'Connor, a 6', 205-pound junior. The right guard, number 78, Luke Juris, 5'11", 230-pound, 11th grader. And number 50, Jackson Ray, a 6'1", 245-pound senior, is the right tackle. Once again, O'Connor, Diaz, Olige, Juris, and Ray, the Hogs up front. Quarterback in his first season as a starter, number 9, Johnny Sorensen, a 6'2", 190-pound senior. He'll be handing it off to number 14, Willie Shearer, a 5'9", 175-pound junior. We'll also see Max Pickett, 5'11", 195-pound sophomore in the rotation. On the perimeter, member of the Prime Time 25, Indiana Football Digest guy, T.J. Caldwell. He transferred in from Calumet New Tech over the summer, 5'10", 175-pound senior. And number 10 is Aiden Leonard, a 6'4", 175-pound junior. Out there on the flat, it will be number 36, Mason Jackson, a 5'11", 215-pound senior. And number 30, Zach Bloom, a 5'9", 175-pound junior. Frank, tell me about those numbers for the Bricks.
Well, last week, Randy mentioned a lot of these. They scored 16 points, so that's their average. Good balance running the football, 136 on the ground, 147 through the air, total of 283. 14 first downs. That's a solid effort there by Steve McIntyre's offense. +1 in the giveaway takeaway department. Third downs, pretty solid, 46%, 6 to 13 last week, and they converted their only fourth down conversion as well in the victory over Chesterton, Paul.
The Merrillville defense looks like this up front as they'll put 4 down linemen. And up front, number 3, Terrell Elmore, a 6'3", 217-pound senior. Number 99, Adam Camfor, 6'1", 300, a junior. Back in the lineup is Roshan McGee, a 6', 245-pound senior. Didn't play last week. He's coming off a off-season knee injury. And number 40, James Veal, a 6'1", 215-pound senior. We'll also see Coran Moore in that rotation. At the outside backers, it'll be number 11, John Peters, a 6'1", 158-pound junior, and number 4, Mark DeLosa, a 5'8", 126-pound senior. Inside on the defense, in the middle, number 19, Trent Dixon, a 6'3", 195-pound junior. Number 34, Jeremiah Jordan, 5'11", 210-pound junior. And number 18, Nathan Gills, a 5'8", 184-pound junior. At the safeties, number 9, Jaden Mason, 5'11", 165-pound junior. And number 8, Greg Hughes, 5'10", 175, a 10th grader.
Last week, Paul, Merrillville 13 points allowed. As Brad mentioned, Andrea didn't really run the football, and you mentioned earlier, they held them to minus 37 on the ground, but Andrea did throw for 204 yards, a lot of passing attempts, so 167 the total net yardage, plus 2 in the giveaway takeaway department. They were solid on third down defense. 1 of 15 is excellent. However, on fourth down, a little room for improvement here. They were Andrea was 4 for 6 against them on fourth down, so I'm sure they will work on that at some point to improve those numbers.
Taking a look at the Hobart defense, number 55, Andrew Martinez, number 75, Maurice MacArthur, a junior, and number 32, Andres Castillo will be the defensive lineup for the Brickies. Castillo, a 5'9", 225-pound junior, and MacArthur, a 6'2", 245-pounder. In the linebacking core, the best one there is, number 5, Brad Gibson, 6'1", 205-pound senior. Number 19, Jared Hansen, a 6'3", 200-pound senior. Those guys combined for 20 tackles last week. Zach Bloom, mentioned him before, and Willie Shear also rounding out the middle. Aiden Leonard, one of the corners, number 22, Connor Stafford, a 5'10", 165-pound junior. And the safeties, number 11, Jacob Ramirez, 5'11", 175-pound senior. And number 13, Cale Schlosser, a 5'9", 170-pound junior.
Hobart gave 13 points a week ago, 176 on the ground, 124 through the air for 300 total yards allowed. They gave up 16 first downs, a little on the high side. Great on third down defense, though. 3 of 11, just 27%. 2 of 3 on fourth downs.
Taking a look now at the Merrillville offense. Starts up front with number 50, Sean Hicks at the center, 5'9", 208. Flanked on the left and right side by the guards, number 57, Deshaun Rule, a 6'1", 307-pound senior on the left side. Number 53, Quitman Ireland, a 6'2", 254-pound junior. The tackle, starting with the right side, number 76, Jordan Sanders, 6'4", 215, a junior. And number 71 is Jaden Swanson, 6'4", 283. Once again, Swanson, Rule, Hicks, Ireland, and Sanders, the big boys up front. The wide receivers, number 11, John Peters. Number 82, Rynell Lewis, a 6'1", 160-pound junior. The quarterback, number 1, Dante Pope, a 6'1", 170-pound senior. The running back, and he's going to be a great one, folks, J.Q. Johnson, a 5'7", 184-pound sophomore, as well as some of those wideouts. Number 12 will be Zamir Martin, 5'6", 140, a junior. And number 47, Ryan Cummings, a 6', 240-pound senior.
Some solid offensive numbers from a week ago, Paul. 40 points for this Merrillville offense. 274 on the ground, another 213 through the air for a total of 487 yards. 23 first downs is really good. 5 of 11 on third downs and 1 of 4 on the fourth downs a week ago. Here we go.
Merrillville, white pants, purple jerseys, white numbers, black helmets on the near side of the field, which would be the west side of the field. On the east side, the Brickies will be decked out. White pants, white jerseys, the gold numbers, and the gold helmets. A beautiful night for American tackle football when you consider the weather that we had on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Our officials in tonight's game, Frank.
We've got Mike Estelle, who's our referee. Kyle Keith is our umpire. Dino Spratis, the line judge. Jeff Coggins, the head linesman. And Trevor Medved, the back judge. 78 beautiful degrees, and as you mentioned, after triple digits yesterday for the first time in quite some time, about 12 or 13 years. It's a welcome relief. Winds out of the north-northeast at 6 miles an hour. Not really going to be a whole lot of much of a factor in the kicking game or the passing game tonight, Paul.
Captains are meeting here at the field for Merrillville. Pope, Elmore, McGee, and Camphor, respectively. Brickies will bring their captains out as well, as they're going to go over some of the pregame particulars. But we're glad you can join us here, and especially thank Jeff Larimore, Spectrum Financial Group. We've had a great career at Hobart High School. His sons had 2 great careers here at Merrillville, respectively, and certainly appreciate him sponsoring all of our games for 31 years on Regional Radio Sports. Glad you can hop along with us here tonight as the Merrillville Pirates will be moving from, they're waiting on.
They're trying to, I think, get the microphones to work from down in the field. Usually they are able to do that here at Merrillville.
Merrillville will receive, and they'll move from left to right, respectively. The Brickies will kick off and go from right to left. The Bricky kicker this season is Xander Langford, a junior. And the return team for the home team, we could see Dermot Bogard, John Peters, Zamir Martin, Javion Gills, a wide variety of guys back there. We'll wait and see who Brad Cease and company sends out here today. So we're glad that you can join us here, ladies and gentlemen, for the 49th meeting all-time between Merrillville and Hobart. Hobart leads the all-time series 28-19-1. Merrillville has won 6 straight games in the series. The last year, the Bucks won 17-7 at Don Howe Field at the Brickyard. Last time Hobart defeated Merrillville was 14-12 here at Demery, but it was in 2000. Ironically, none of the players on the field played in that or were even born in that particular scenario. Merrillville's won 4 straight sectional titles. Hobart's been to the title game in the sectionals for 4 straight years. One of the longest-standing competitive rivals in all of Northwest Indiana here tonight. Glad you can join us here as Gills will be deep for the Merrillville Pirates as the Brickies are going to come out of their special teams huddle as we're ready to get underway here today. Dermot Bogart will also be one of the men on the far side. He'll be wearing that jersey number 10. He had 1 kickoff last week for 36 yards. Gills had 3 kickoff returns last week for a combined 9 yards.
J.Q. Johnson also in the middle, one of the up men here in case Hobart tries to, do a little short kick. So they got to be leery of that.
We do have a scoreboard update. Penn has jumped in front of Mishawaka 14-7. They've scored 14 unanswered. Little pooch kick will split the defense and will roll all the way here to the 12-yard line. And it's picked up there, and immediately the defender wraps him up by the nice play by Connor Stafford. It ran out of bounds at the we've got to call him at the 24-yard line officially. And that's where we're ready to get underway. Glad you can hop along here today for our non-league game. We'll get back in the Duneland Campus play. We'll be at LaPorte next week as the Slicers will be taking on the Valparaiso Vikings. Slicers are taking on LaPorte tonight, and that game is on Regional Radio Sports. Dante Pope, the 6'1", 170-pound senior, shotgun formation with J.Q. Johnson on his right hip. 2 receivers, 1 left and 1 right. Ricky's showing blitz on the far right side. Here's J.Q. straight up the middle, a gaping hole across the 30 to about the 32-yard line, where he is finally wrapped up there. Nice job defensively. Aiden Leonard came up from his corner spot to make the tackle, but not before. It was a 7-yard gain, and make that an 8-yard gain, so it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 2.
Not a great start for Hobart. Also in the area was Jared Hansen.
2 receivers to the left side now, 1 to the right side for Dante Pope, the senior, surveying the situation as J.Q's behind him on his right hip. Here's the play action. Pope back to pass, throws the dart and overthrows his intended receiver. Great press coverage by Hobart's Connor Stafford. Intended receiver was John Peters, but good pressure by the Brickies up front as well as good man-to-man defense on the perimeter.
The pressure was the key there that time. Peters had probably at least a step on the defender, and I think the pressure, though, caused an overthrow that time on Pope. Good job by the front four of Hobart.
3rd down and 2 for Merrillville. Ball at their own 33-yard line, moving from left to right. Bricky's showing blitz. Now they'll back out of it. Brad Gibson making the call on the defensive side of things, and now he'll move right in front of the center now, right in that A-gap. And here is a run off the right side, and that's going to be very close to the first down. Forward progress could get it close.
Second effort to 2. They had him stopped initially.
He's short by half a yard.
It's not even that much, I don't think. It's
Aiden Leonard
it's inches.
Was the lead man in the play there. Marcus Fernandez, the big fellow in there now, the 6'6", 320-pound senior, trying to be the immovable object, and the Merrillville Pirates are going to go for it on 4th and 1 here at their own 34-yard line. Pope shotgun. Hands that off to Jake Hugh. He's got the first down as he's across the 40 to about the 41-yard line. Tackle made there by Willie Shearer. Also had some help in there defensively from Trent Brown. Gain of 5. So the 4th down conversion, which last week they were 1 for 4, starting off on a good streak here today. Bucks 3 receivers set to the far side, 1 to the right side. Dante Pope, short shotgun. Bricky's 3 down linemen as they've backed up now. Here is Pope back to pass. Throws a little screen pass, ball caught out here on the perimeter. Some room to run to the 40, the 35, the 30, a flag down. Nice catch out here on the near side by Dermont Bogart. But that one's coming back.
It's a gain of 32, but I don't think it's going to end up a gain of 32.
Because the illegal block downfield will...
Yeah, it's still going to be a first down. I believe it's going to be holding on Merrillville from the spot of the foul, which was well downfield. Should still be in... Yes, it will still be enough for a first down, and it's going to still be in Hobart territory, but the gain will be far less than 32.
And so the line of scrimmage will be the Bricky 47-yard line. So a plus 13 on that exchange, if you will. And now Merrillville will be on the far hash mark. 2 receivers set here to the right side with Zamir Martin and John Peters. Once again, J.Q. Johnson, shotgun short to the right, behind Dante Pope. Bricky's once again, they've gone to a 3-down lineman scenario. Man in motion is Ryan Cummings, the tight end to the right side. They go right behind Cummings. He got a great block, and the Brickies come up and fill the hole, but still falling forward for 5 yards. Nice play again by the talented 10th grader, Jaquarius Johnson. He goes by JQ, and that make it a 6-yard gain, so it's going to bring up a second down, and we're going to call it 4. 9:32 to go, quarter 1, no score. Here's Pope with a handoff. Bricky's had an opportunity to grab him, and he just squirts free for a first down. My, oh my. Bricky's had a golden opportunity. Andres Castillo had him for a 3-yard loss, but when he got away, he gained 8 yards. And Merrillville with an impressive drive here to start this first part of the game out as the ball 1st and 10 at the Hobart 34-yard line on the far hash mark.
Some good drive there. They're going to empty the backfield here on this formation, Paul.
3 receivers set here to the right side, 2 to the left side. We go run and shoot, and we'll see what Dante Pope goes on 1st and 10 here at the 9:05 mark. Bricky's showing press coverage. There's a pass out here. Ball is deflected and tipped around, and ball knocked away.
Great
nice
read
job
by Aiden Leonard.
It was not only Leonard, but Willie Shear, Zach Bloom, all in the same zip code.
Yeah. I think
complete.
I think if Leonard plays the ball there, he played the defender, which is what you're taught to do. But I think if he played the ball, he might have gotten the pick that time because it was not a well thrown ball by Pope.
It would have been a pick 6, I'll tell you that.
It could have very well been.
So Merrillville will come back with John Peters wide to the right side, Zamir Martin, the junior, wide to the far side, and there's going to be a 5-yard mark off against Merrillville, and then move it back here to the 39-yard line. Once again, 8:58 to go here in a scoreless first quarter. Merrillville its first offensive possession. They've had the ball since the opening kickoff. They have a 2-receiver set, one way here to the near side, one to the short side, far side. Once again, Cummings in the tight end spot, H-back formation. He'll go in motion. Now they'll go right up the middle. And, Pope on the keeper calls his own number. What a great fake by everybody. Javion Gillis sold it, hook, line, and sinker. Even yours truly bought it. And that's going to be a first down. Well played. Oh, make that. Going to bring a second down. He picked up 12 on the play. So it's going to bring up a second down and 3. Ball at the 27-yard line of the Bricks. Inside 850. 2 receivers to the short side. 2 to the right side now. Pope, shotgun formation with J.Q. Johnson on his right hip. There's the handoff to Johnson, and he's bottled up. Forward progress, he'll push him forward. He'll pick up about 1.5 yards. And once again, it's going to bring up a third down and short.
Coming into this game, I really thought the biggest thing for Hobart needed to do was get off the field on 3rd and 4th down. And right now, on this drive, they have not been able to.
11th play of the Merrillville drive thus far. 3rd down and 2, 8:21 clock on the roll in this first quarter. Merrillville will have Peters and Martin wide to the far side. Tight formation, they'll go double tight end this time. As Dante Pope sends a man in motion, they'll fake the handoff, and he goes right up the middle for the first down. Nice read by Dante Pope. And with the run, he'll get it down to about the 22-yard line. A pickup of 4. Merrillville continues to move the chains, Frank, here in the early stages.
Yeah, they've got a couple of conversions here on this drive. 1 on 3rd down, 1 on 4th down. And the Pirates, they've owned the clock here, a 4-minute-plus drive, and that's already their 4th first down of this drive.
2 receivers to the right side, now 1 to the left. Wide to the far side now is Rynell Lewis. Over here on the near side is Peters and Martin. Once again, Pope shotgun with J.Q. Johnson this time on his left hip. Ricky showing 5 up front this time. Here's a run up the right side, a gaping hole. J.Q. sprints into the secondary. He's going to pick up 13 yards. It'll be 1st and goal for Merrillville at the Bricky 9-yard line.
Jared Hansen with the touchdown saving tackle.
Paul, I think you could have gained 7 or 8 on that one. There was a lot of room for
go with the
Johnson.
quick count. Pope hands it off to Johnson, and he waltzes toward the goal line, and he's tripped up at the 1. Just shy of scoring the touchdown, and with 7:11 to go here in the quarter, Merrillville knocking at the door.
Scoreboard update: Penn 14 to Mishawaka 7 at half. Marion is leading 14-7 over Harvard Military. West Noble 7-6 at halftime. North Jetson 12-0 in the first quarter.
And with the football, Merrillville 2nd down, 13th play of the drive. Right here, 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. J.Q. Johnson, who scored 3 touchdowns last week, picks up where he left off and scores the 4th touchdown of the season. And at the 6-minute, 36-second mark of quarter number 1, Merrillville is on the score sheet with a 6-0 lead.
Very impressive drive, Paul. 11 runs and 2 pass attempts that time. Very kind of Valpo-esque in a way. Very much relying on the ground game. 5 first downs, 5.5 minutes off the clock.
Last week, Giovanni Martinez was 4 for 5 from the PAT department. He'll be kicking from left to right from the hold of Dante Pope. The long snapper, Derek Nelson, the senior. That execution was right on the money. Merrillville has a 7-0 lead. We'll be back with the kickoff in 60 seconds. Merrillville 7, Hobart 0. We'll be back after that on WEFM.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and a proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund, and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Welcome back here on WFM. Paul Condry along with Frank Kupakowski and Randall Condry. Glad that you can join us here today as we turn it over to Frank for the recap of that impressive Merrillville scoring drive.
Very impressive, Paul. Thank you. 13-play, 75-yard opening drive of the ball game for the Pirates. Took 5:24 off the clock. J.Q. Johnson, as you mentioned, Paul, his 4th touchdown of the season and his first 1-yard touchdown run on that drive. Johnson 9 carries for 51 yards. Giovanni Martinez added the PAT. 6:36 to go here in the first quarter. Hobart about to touch the football for the first time, but trailing 7-0.
Glad you can hop along for our broadcast here today. Bricky's to move from right to left as the sun is setting in the west. Bricky faithful on the far side will have some relief as they are under the cover now of some shade. There's the ball squibbed inside the 10, picked up there, and then down the right sideline and quickly out of bounds on the special teams play for the Bricks was Willie Shear. And with that being said, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hobart Brickies. They'll start their first offensive sequence from the Bricky 19-yard line.
See if Hobart can answer that Pirate drive here with one of their own.
As they quickly come out onto the field, Brickies once again decked out white shorts or white jerseys and white trousers. As they'll move from left to right, as T.J. Caldwell will be here wide to the near side. Mason Jackson will join him. And now he'll go into the tight end slot on the right side. Johnny Sorensen, shotgun formation. Here's the handoff by Scherer. He's picked up at the 20, falls forward, and picks up about 2.5. Give him 2, Frank says. Call that a 2nd down and 8.
Report looking go to start the season 2-0. They jump out to an early lead, 7-0 over Lowell.
Here's your 2nd down and 8. 6:10 to go.
Austin Epple was the Region 1 representative last week for Coach of the Week.
Yeah, did a great job.
Did a great job, yeah.
Him and young Grant Seaberg, great 1-2 punch between those 2 young whippersnappers.
Nice debut.
2 receivers here to the near side. Sorensen back to pass. Home run ball down the near side. He's going for Caldwell, and he couldn't make the catch in triple coverage as he was matched up nicely there defensively by John Peters. Also had some help in there from Mark DeLosa.
It's a solid throw there by Sorensen. A little bit underthrown at the end the way that Caldwell ran the route. But as you mentioned, Paul, Caldwell with a couple, 2-3 defenders there. Not a lot of room to maneuver to try and catch up to that football.
3rd down and 8. One of the officials just hit the deck down there. Here's your 3rd down and 8. Merrillville with some movement up front. Here is Sorensen back to pass. The right-hander throws the ball. Downfield ball caught here by Scherer for a 1st down. He's got some room to run to the 35, the 40, and he is tripped up right around the 46-yard line. A nice broken play as Willie Scherer did a sensational job coming through. And the tackle made by Mark DeLosa, the 5'8", 126-pound senior. So the Brickies with a key 3rd down conversion, a 24-yard gain.
The key part of that play was Scherer coming back to the football.
1st and 10 ball on the far hash mark. Bricks with 2 receivers to the short side of the field. 1-on-1, mano-a-mano here on the near side. As Sorensen, play action, the little pop pass goes right through the hands of the intended receiver that time for Hobart. Connor Stafford, the intended receiver. He caught a couple balls last week. That one hit him in the hands. That's one you got to bring down.
Probably a tad high, but Stafford goes 5'10", and if he was 5'11", he probably would have hauled that one in.
And Steve McIntyre will tell you, you put 2 hands on the ball, you ought to bring it down. A man in motion coming here to the near side. Bricks with 2 to the left, 1 to the right now. Sorensen shotgun. Looks to the near side, under heavy duress.
Nice.
Throws a little screen pass. And that's going to bring up some positive yardage over the midfield stripe, down to about the 48-yard line of Merrillville. 7-yard gain for Hobart. And now the Brickies looking down at a workable 3rd down and 3 here at the 5:22 mark. Our score, Merrillville 7, Hobart nothing.
Scherer with 2 receptions already. Didn't catch one last week, so a new wrinkle in the Steve McIntyre offense.
Caldwell here to the near side. He'll also be joined here by Connor Stafford. And now the tight end will line up here along the near side. And a wide receiver to the right side. Sorensen shotgun. Hands that are straight up the middle to Balker, and he is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. And he had absolutely no help as he is smothered by the number 93, Rashawn McGee, the 6', 245-pounder. And it's going to bring up a 4th down and 3 for the Brickies.
The All-Stater there saying, not in my house, you ain't getting the first down.
And it's like Craig Osika is going to say, hey, listen, I'm going to try to play a little field position here and bring on his punt team.
Not bad early in the game.
Yeah.
Later on, you would think about going for this midfield area, not a real long yardage 4th down, but early on you might want to just play some field position here, see if you can't get a defensive stop, get it back in the same position.
Yeah, Scheer ran himself into 545 pounds of men between two guys, between Camphor and McGee that last time. The Bricky punter, Xander Langford, back to punt. He's standing.
Play clock went down. I don't know if they got a timeout in time or if there's a penalty here. It's going to be delayed.
5-yard mark off on the Brickies, and so they'll punt the ball from the Bricky side of the field. And that gives Merrillville an opportunity to get the two big boys off the field, and they are big. I mentioned Camphor 6'1", 300, and McGee 6', 245. So now Langford, who's standing at his own 32-yard line, to try to let her rip. Good snap, and a beautiful kip is going to be taken here on the near side at the 25-yard line. Boy, I tell you what, that dangerous effort there for Javion Gills.
Yep.
But it'll be a 1st and 10. So the Merrillville defense, which was stingy a week ago against Andran, picks up where it's left off. 4:16 to go in the first quarter. Our score, Merrillville 7, Hobart nothing. Merrillville 2nd offensive sequence.
Your future is waiting at Ivy Tech Lake County. From information technology to healthcare, automotive to hospitality, Ivy Tech Lake County has programs designed to get you where you need to be so you're ready for the job you want. We have new classes starting in October. Come in and register today. Call 219-392-3600 or visit ivytech.edu/Lake County and enroll today. Your future begins this fall at Ivy Tech Lake County.
Let's go over to Randall for a couple scores that just came in. Take it away, Rand.
Balboa has jumped out ahead 6-0 over Andran and over Central 7-0 over Morton.
Here's the handoff on the end around for Zamir Martin. He's got some real estate to pick up. He gets across the 30, and it's going to probably pick up about 7 yards, maybe 8, depending upon the spot. It will be 8 with that spot.
8 and then some.
And so bring up a 2nd down and 1. Merrillville has just done a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage here in the early going. Now they'll go with a 2-receiver set here to the near side. Pope hands it off. They go off to the outside, and J.Q. Jackson's got a 1st down as he's across the 40. He just ran through 2 white jerseys. He is so elusive at 5'7", 184. Not only is he's Barry Sanders-like out there. Number 2 for Merrillville, Jaquarius Johnson. Keep an eye on him for the future. J.Q. as they goes by had 21 rushes for 133 yards and 3 scores the last time around against a Andran team.
Barry would tower over him. He's at 5'7", 184.
Yeah. 1st and 10 for Merrillville at the 42-yard line of Merrillville. Straight up the middle, J.Q. just lowers his shoulder and picks up 5 yards on the play. Make it 6 officially as they move the line of scrimmage to the 48-yard line. Once again, when you're averaging, Randall, 6 and 7 yards a pop, you don't even have to worry about calling in your throw game.
Well, right now, Merrillville's offensive line has literally pushed Hobart's defensive line before he even touches the ball 5 yards down the field.
And now to survey the situation at 2nd down and 5. 2 receivers, 1 left and 1 right. This time they'll go with Gills up the middle, and Gills is going to be left short of the 1st down as they try to go off the right side. He picks up 4. It's going to bring up a workable 3rd down and a couple for Merrillville. 2:32 to go here in the first. Merrillville 7, Hobart nothing.
Zach Bloom on the stop.
It'll be about a yard plus for the 1st down, Paul.
Here's a run off the left side by Gills, and he's going to pick up that 1st down to the Hobart 45-yard line. That line of Jaden Swanson, Deshaun Rule, Sean Hicks, Quitman Ireland, and Jordan Sanders just dominating the football game thus far. And at the 2:14 mark, they put on a 1st and 10 here from the Hobart 45-yard line.
Paul, Merrillville thus far, not even a quarter, 97 rushing yards on 16 carries. To your point, that's 6 yards a carry, right on cue.
And here's a play action. Pope back to pass. Deep ball down the middle of the field. Ball is incomplete. Zamir Martin, the intended receiver. Press coverage out there for Hobart from Connor Stafford. Pass incomplete. I love the call on 1st and 10.
I love it
after
too.
You've gone run, and then let her rip. Let's get the talented senior quarterback a chance to push and stretch the field a little bit.
Yeah, I like the call too, especially you got single coverage out there with Martin, and just a little bit overthrown. But a good call, as you mentioned, 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. 3 receivers set here to the near side of the field. The ball's in the far hash mark. 1 receiver to the left side. Dante Pope, the senior quarterback in the shotgun, looks, throws it out here in the flat. Ball is caught, and he is immediately hit down. Oh, what a read by Brad Gibson. Brad he might as well have read it like a book. That's the reason he is a preseason All-State pick by the Indiana Football Digest. That is going to be a loss of 5 as J.Q. Johnson got a chance to meet the talented senior Bricky linebacker.
He doesn't,
for 3rd and 15.
If he doesn't read that, he may be still running.
2 receivers to the left side, 3 again to the right side as they go run and shoot and see if they can stretch this. Brickies are backing off. They're going to allow them to make their moves off the line of scrimmage here now.
So first real test of a 3rd down here by the Pirates, 3rd and long.
Martin will go streak to the far side, so 3 to the right, 1 to the left. There's a pass over the middle, caught and breaking free. Nice play by Rennell Lewis, but he's not going to get the 1st down. He'll get it down to about the 40-yard line. So it's decision time. It's a 10-yard gain, and we'll see how Brad Cease and company decide to do this.
I think you might go for it.
I would think they
I would
would.
think so. It's going to be 4th and about 5, maybe 6, but depending on the spot, we got a Bricky down.
Our coverage of high school football today being presented in part by my good friend Scott Miller. Scott is a 5-star rated broker with numerous awards and accolades such as the top 1% of all teams within the Berkshire Hathaway National, top 15% of HomeSnap agent nationwide. He's a recipient of the HomeSnap Excellence and Client Service Award. Based on his numerous client reviews, he's the official realtor of Hometown Jam. Scotty's also the lead dog at the Pursue Realties Group. He is the top producing agent. That's what you want when you're trying to buy or sell your home, folks. Scott Miller was born and raised in Northwest Indiana. He even survived playing a whole year for Paul Condry. And that's in itself is scary in its own right. Scott enjoys spending time with his family. He looks forward to helping you spend more time with your family. If you want results, give Scott Miller a call at 219-263-3039. Once again, Scott Miller, realtor of the Pursue Realty Group and Berkshire Hathaway Executive Realty. Don't forget my guy, Scott Miller, at his website at listandbuywithscottmiller.com for results that move you in the market to buy, sell, or how about both? You know what time it is, Frank?
It's Scott Miller time.
And they Bricky down, was able to pop up. Looks like it was Connor Stafford.
Yep. Good, glad to see him get up on his own. Quick scoring update, Paul. KV on top of Wheeler on top of KV 7-0. Valpo's extended the lead 14-0 on Andrean.
And now the Merrillville punt team has decided to come out.
Okay.
And now they'll
change of heart there during the injury timeout.
It certainly was. As Darren Wiggins, the sophomore.
Oh, no.
Nice.
And the Brickies run into him.
Oh, that's going to be a flag.
And Willie Sher, a little aggressive on the play there.
Their offense is going to come out.
If it's
they're coming out either way.
Yeah, they're going to come out either way. If it's a 5-yard, it'll be 4th and a yard or less. If it's a personal foul, it's a 1st down.
So the Hobart mistake cost them dearly here because not only the Merrillville.
It's the 5-yard penalty,
yep.
So it's going to be 4th and short. So they, as you mentioned, Randy, I think they're going to change it up here and go for it. Why not?
7-0 Bucks here with 31.1 seconds to go here in this first quarter. The Merrillville offense led by senior signal caller Dante Pope. He's coming out here now. He'll have J.Q. Johnson on his right hip.
Yeah, it's going to be a full yard to go here, Paul. 4th and 1.
2 receivers set to the right side. The tight end, Ryan Cummings, will be on the left side. They've had a lot of success going to that power of that formation on the left side. It's unbalanced now as Pope, shotgun, hands it off here to JQ, and he's got the 1st down. as he powers inside the 40 down to about the 39-yard line. And with 15.3 seconds to go in this first quarter, Merrillville looking for more.
That's the equivalent of a turnover right there, that penalty running the kicker, because Hobart was going to have the football at the 20-yard line. That's going to be the end of the quarter, Paul.
Quarter number 1 is in the books here from Demery Stadium. Merrillville 7, Hobart nothing. We'll be back with the kickoff, or the next play. Quarter number 2 in 60 seconds on WEFM.
Your hometown credit union. People helping people. First Trust Credit Union.
First Trust Credit Union can help you score big with a game plan to support all your financial needs. Our lineup includes accounts, loans, and 24/7 online banking. So get off the bench and contact your hometown First Trust Credit Union team today at 800-276-6161 or firsttrustcu.com.
The key to competing and winning is hard work, preparation, and persistence. At Friedman & Associates, we believe in the same principles. Our law firm has been here since 1984, providing legal counsel on a range of issues, including employment matters, juvenile law, traffic DUI matters, accident injury cases, school law, and family matters. If it's not an area of law we practice in, we can refer you to someone who can assist your needs. Friedman & Associates, prepared, persistent, and hardworking.
We're rocking you as we do every Friday night and have done for the last quarter century on WEFM. I'm Paul Condra. Glad you could join us here with second quarter action coming your way. Merrillville to move from right to left now on your screen and radio dial. Decked out purple jerseys, white pants, brickies, white pants, and white jerseys, the gold helmets. As here's your first down and 10 at the 34-yard line of Hobart. Dante Pope, shotgun on the keeper, and he'll pick up a couple. Hobart had a great read on the play that time. Really well played defensively. Andrew Martinez had the running back, and the quarterback was able to pick up. We'll give him no yards on the play, but Frank's going to give us your first quarter stats.
All right, quickly before they go back to the huddle, or come out of the huddle here. Merrillville 8 first downs to 1 for Hobart. Merrillville 126 total yards, 99 of those on the ground. Hobart 33 total yards, all but 2 were through the air. Merrillville 2 of 4 on third downs, 2 of 2 on fourth downs. Hobart 1 of 2 on third downs. The big stat, time of possession, Merrillville 9:40 to 2:20 for Hobart.
And here's a run off the left side by Dante Pope. He breaks free, and he'll take it down the near sideline, and he will score. Dante Pope, last week with 2 rushing touchdowns, picks up 1 this time on 34 yards.
Renell Lewis on the leading block that set him free.
Man, what a great play by the senior signal caller to give Merrillville a 13-0 advantage. 11-12 to go here in the first half of play from the point after touchdown. The kicker, Giovanni Martinez. The long snapper, Derek Nelson, the senior. Pope, the holder. That kick will just go inside the right upright, and it will be good. Merrillville, just like that, 14-0 with 11-12 to go here in quarter number 2. We'll be back in 60 seconds on WEFM.
For the past 95 years, Northwest Indiana has been trusting the Bozak name for automotive sales and service. During that time, the Auto Group expanded from 1 brand and location to 12 brands in 9 locations today, all under one common name, the Bozak Auto Group. Whether you drive for work or pleasure, Bozak's unrivaled inventory of over 1,900 new and pre-owned cars and trucks has what you need. With over 5,000 5-star Google reviews, see why it's better at Bozak.
Your Auto Value Store is a Midwest-based company committed to the values of honesty and integrity in all of our transactions. From Detroit to Madison and Chicago to Marquette, we have you covered with a huge selection of high-quality auto parts and accessories. And our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right part for your vehicle with competitive prices and fast shipping. Get back to doing what you love, working on your ride. Visit your local Auto Value Store or myautovaluestore.com. Service is the difference. We get it.
Welcome back here on WEFM. I'm Paul Condry along with Frank Kilpakowski, Randall County with the details here today. Merrillville has played a picture-perfect football game for the first few seconds of the second quarter, and a perfect first quarter. So they've been spot on tonight.
That was an 11-play, 75-yard drive. Took 5:04 off the clock, helped by the running into the kicker penalty that kept the drive alive. Dante Pope, 34 yards on a touchdown run. Martinez, the PAT. 11-12 to go here first half. It's all Merrillville thus far. 14-0 Box.
And here's the kickoff, and taken here, and immediately difficult sledding for Willie Scher as he able to bounce out here to about the 27-yard line. With that being said, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hobart offense, which needs to get on track. And once again, Patrick O'Connor, Josh Diaz, Hayden Oligay, Luke Juris, Jackson Ray, the big boys up front. Block for Steve McIntyre's offense. Mack now finds himself down 14. Mack, of course, the other years that he's been the offensive coordinator, he's been up in the broadcast booth. This year he's down along the sideline. And they're talking things over right now, trying to sort out what they want to do. I don't know if they've officially taken a timeout, but
got some local scores to pass along.
Quickly.
Guys, Boone Grove on top of Clay, 18-0 in the second quarter. Crown Point a 14-0 lead on Taft in the first. Hanover 7-0 lead on Morton in the first. Lafayette Jeff leads Michigan City 14-7. That's in the first quarter. Northwood 21-0 lead on Portage. That's in the first. Providence Catholic leads Lake Central 14-7. That's in the first quarter. River Forest a 13-0 lead on Calumet. And guys, updating that Valpo score now. In second quarter, it's the Vikings running roughshod over the Niners, 21-0.
Randy, you've got some others to pass along.
A couple scores from the Indianapolis area. Center Grove leads 21-7 over Oakland, Tennessee, and Christian Brothers 27-14 over Carmel. Both games are at half.
Personal injury attorney Dave Cox proudly supports region football and wishes the Hobart Brickies and all our region teams best of luck. We hope you never need his services, but if you're hurt in a wreck, call Cox. Attorney Cox is a life member of the $1 Million Advocates Forum and is dedicated to representing seriously injured victims of negligence and getting fair and just results. For a free consultation and to discuss his best game plan in your case, call Dave or text him at 219-CALLCOX, which is 219-225-5269, or check him out online at davecoxlaw.com. Cox Law Office, located at 8792 East Ridge Road in Hobart, Indiana. Bricky's back on the field after that offensive timeout. That's their first timeout, as they will have Johnny Soros in the shotgun formation. Two receivers left and right, and they'll run with Willie Scher, and he is going nowhere. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. What a great effort by Terrell Elmore coming in with a tackle for a loss. And officially, Frank's going to give him a -2, so it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 12.
Another halftime score, Warsaw 0, Chesterton 0.
Interesting.
Two receivers to the far side of the field for the Brickies. Now check that. Now they'll invert that. Caldwell will be wide to the left side, and he'll get the single coverage. And now the safety will rotate back in the person of Hughes. And some confusion by the Merrillville defense on this formation. Man in motion, the snapper, they'll fake the end around. Here's Sorensen back to pass, throws it out of bounds. Broken play. No one in the same area that he needed to be. Great decision by senior Johnny Sorensen tonight to not try to force it into a spot that didn't belong. 3rd down, 12 and a half. 14-0 our score. Merrillville in command here. Quarter 2, 10-10 on the clock.
Down the road, Valpo leads Andran 21-0.
The Duneland flexing its muscles against the Northwest Crossroads Conference right now.
At least in the town of Merrillville they are.
Yes, they are. Man in motion is Jackson. He stops on the far slot. 2 to the right, 1 to the left now. Sorensen back to pass. And what was the call there? Was it a timeout?
I think Brad called timeout.
And the Merrillville timeout is there. We will thank some of our sponsors who make it happen here today.
We want to thank Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department. They're proud to support Crown Point Bulldog football, and they say go Bulldogs in their game tonight against Taft. Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in city services, encouraging smart growth. Mayor Land and the Pace team invite everyone to Bulldog Park for a variety of concerts, including Lone Star with special guest Jameson Rogers on September 3rd. For more information, contact the Pace Department, 219-661-2271. We'll be in Crown Point in a few weeks for high school football.
Thanks for the reminder. Broadcasting live tonight,
it's right up the
courtesy
street.
of Spectrum Financial Group and Jeff Larimore, a registered independent advisor, which has been serving clients in downtown Hobart since 1984, located at 607 East 3rd Street, specialized in 401k, IRA rollovers, and income planning for retirement. For over 35 years, Spectrum Financial Group has been specializing in college funds, investments, budget analysis, insurance, and annuity products. Give the big man a call, Jeff Larimore, the Grindle, at 219-942-8287. Bricky's faced with the 3rd down and 13 at their own 25-yard line. 2 receivers to the near side. And here is Sorensen back to pass. Looks, throws a little dart high in flat, caught by Shear. He's got a big gain. He's going to pick up the 1st down out to the 41-yard line. I love the call by Steve McIntyre. Jeremiah Jordan ran him out of bounds. A 16-yard gain, and that's exactly what the Brickies needed.
Shear 0 receptions in the first week, and I believe he's got his 3rd now, and a great wheel route right there by Shear.
He's caught all 3. He's the only receiver to catch a pass from Sorensen thus far here in the first half.
1st and 10 for Hobart at their own 41-yard line, 9:54, clock rolling. Double slot formation for Hobart, and 2 receivers left and right. Johnny Sorensen hands it off. Sorensen on the keeper, and he's run out of bounds. Merrillville had 4 purple jerseys in the same zip code, and Trenton Nixon said, I don't think so. A loss of that, and that's his 1st tackle for negative yardage and his 4th tackle of the year. And it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 13 for the Brickies. Hobart continues to make changes and a rotation on the far side. They'll go with 2 receivers to the far side now, 1 to the right side, as Sorensen once again is in that shotgun formation. Now, the tight end comes over here to the near side. Sorensen is going to take off and run, and he'll have some room as he's across the 40 to the 41-yard line, and he'll be back to the original line of scrimmage. Jaden Mason, a 5'11", 165-pound junior, punched him out of bounds, and now it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the Brickies at their own 41-yard line.
Well, we're trying to figure out some way to run the football against this tough Merrillville defense. Thus far, 5 carries, 0 net yards. Just trying to find that play that will pop one here for the Bricky offense. But it's a passing situation here, 3rd and 10.
2 right, 2 left now. Sorensen shotgun. Looks at a timing pattern and intended for the tight end straight. They just ran a little seam route from near to far. And honestly, I don't even think he expected the ball to be coming his way. Did Andres Castillo? Or was that Mason? I checked that. It was Mason Jackson. My apologies.
Yep.
Jackson. And it's going to bring up a 4th down and 10. The ball was there.
Yeah.
If he had turned around and had his hands in a receiving position, may have had an opportunity to,
it was a big play.
to make a big play there, but that was not the case. And once again, the Division I long snapper coming into the ball game, and Luke Granzo, the senior, he can go anywhere he wants to. A perfect snap and a flag down.
I think it's going to be on the Pirates, I believe. There was some movement on the Merrillville line, but it's going to be on Hobart.
So the 5-yard mark off. Granzo, who really can write his own ticket anywhere he wants to go. One of the top special teams guys in the country as a long snapper. Multiple Division I opportunities for him. And he'll let it rip again as, once again, the Bricky punter, Zane Langford, is back. He lets one get away, and it's kicked down here to the 27-yard line, and spinning free is Gillis. And he gets all the way out here to the 34-yard line, and that's where Javion is tapped down. It'll be Merrillville football, 1st and 10. Every time the offense has touched the ball, they have scored, and they have a 14-0 lead. And with this fast-moving game here at the 9:32 mark, a quarter number 2.
Second quarter, Brownsburg 21, Cathedral 17.
Whoa.
And also, still in the first quarter, Northwood all over Portage, 21-0.
Here's your 1st and 10 opportunity for the Merrillville offense. As new quarterback's in the ballgame, he'll hand it off here to the near side as Jordan Sanders, and finding some room to run, but he stepped out of bounds right about the 45-yard line. A pickup of 11 for J.Q. Johnson. Don't forget you can join me every week on the Indiana Football Coaches Association official podcast. You can go check that out at Apple. In addition to that, you can join me and Bob Lovell every Saturday night on the Big Show, Network Indiana's Indiana Sports Talk. That's part of our weekly thing. And, of course, then don't forget next week on Colts.com we'll have some great stuff for you with a special feature article on the state's best quarterback, Danny O'Neill of Cathedral High School next week. Here is Sanders back to pass, flushed out of the pocket. He throws, and there's a flag down. Ball was caught on the far side by Gillis. He gets into Hobart territory, and he's wrapped up there, but this one's going to be coming back.
Multiple flags on the field.
Nothing's the matter with Pope. He's standing on the sidelines. He's got one hand on his hip. It doesn't appear to be. He's standing next to Brad Cease, probably saying, "Put me back in here, Coach."
I just think they want to get Jordan Sanders some reps. Only a 10th grader. He is the future. He has not thrown a pass. He had one rush for 11 yards coming into today's game. I like this chance of giving him some quality time against the Hobart number ones.
Pretty big kid here for a sophomore, 6'1", 235.
Yeah, he is.
Got some good size for just a 10th grader. Yep.
And the ball will be here on the near hash mark now. And the aforementioned Sanders gets his guys in the right direction. He'll have a two-receiver set with the 11 and 12 combo. Peters and Martin to the right side. Over here on the near side is Gillis. And Lewis on the near side. Here's a run straight up the middle. J.Q. Johnson will take it to the house right up the middle like he was shot out of a cannon. He goes 55 yards, and the Merrillville Pirates at the 9:04 mark have put their third offensive score on the board in 3 opportunities. My, oh my. What a block up front by Deshaun Rule, Sean Hicks, and Quitman Ireland. Those guys opened up the Red Sea, and that one took him right to the promised land.
You knew what he broke through, and there was nobody home. I mean, the doors were open, and the prisoner guards were nowhere to be found.
To try the point after touchdown now for the Merrillville Pirates will be Giovanni Martinez. Giovanni was 4 for 5 last week, 2 for 2 today. The sidewinder kicks one through its uprights, and it's on the way to 59 Broadway. And just like that, with 9:04 to go in the second quarter, Merrillville flexing its muscles against their longtime nemesis to the east. 21-0 Merrillville. We'll be back with the kickoff in 60 seconds on WEFM.
Have you checked out Centier Bank's student checking account? This no-fee checking account is perfect for students and teens ages 14 to 24 and comes with all the features you need to succeed, such as a debit card, digital banking, and automatic deposit. Centier Bank can help you start establishing good spending habits today for your better tomorrow. For more information, visit Centier.com/student-checking or visit your local branch. If you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian must also sign on the Centier student checking account. At the age of 25, your account will automatically convert to the Centier checking account. You must deposit $25 to open this account. This account is not eligible for overdraft advantage. Member FDIC.
Welcome back here on WEFM. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight here on the Football Friday extravaganza. Let's go over to Frank Gilpikowski. He's going to tell you about how dominant the team were, and the purple and the white have been today as they're 3 for 3, 3 touches, 3 scores.
Yeah, this time not a methodical drive at all. 2 plays, 66 yards, just 28 seconds off the clock. J.Q. Johnson shot out of a cannon, goes 55 yards for the score. Martinez with the PAT. 9:04 still to go here in the first half, and it has been all Merrillville. Any way you want to slice it up, 21-0 Pirates lead it.
Yeah, just as an FYI, the largest margin of victory for Merrillville was 41 points. That was back on the 19th of October in the year of my birth, 1956
AD.
Thank you, Frank. I appreciate that. The last shutout against over. We got a lot of football to play here, but was back in 2019. Of course, Merrillville comes into this thing winners of 6 straight football games in the series. It'll be interesting to see how this thing plays itself out. All right, to kick off from right to left again will be Giovanni Martinez. Brickies will sort out a trio of guys deep. Shearer will be here along the near side. And with a pooch kick, and he picked up by the Brickies at the 40-yard line, and a heads-up play by Hobart. Instead of Merrillville getting the football in great field position, coming up huge was the All-Stater, Brad Gibson. Brad was right there to make sure that one didn't get away, and Hobart will be starting this offensive sequence in great field position. 1st and 10 for the Bricks at their own 41-yard line with 9:01 to go in the quarter.
A couple of halftime scores: Lawrence Central 28-21 over Westfield, and Newberry 22-10 over Goshen at half.
So the Brickies 1st and 10 opportunity, as it'll be Aiden Oligay, a 5'11", 270-pound junior. Well, 1st and 10 opportunity. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left now. And in motion to the far side is Jackson. Long count. Here's the play. Straight up the middle, and some ball comes loose. The Brickies fumble it, and Merrillville will not. Hobart very, very fortunate because the Brickies, it may have been Oligay who picked it up.
3 Pirates were standing right there, and somehow Hobart gets the football.
And now it's going to be a pickup of 5. Make it 4, call it 2nd down and 6. Hobart got a monster break right there.
The first break of the game for Hobart.
And here's a 2 receiver set to the right side, 1 to the left side now. Sorensen's in the shotgun. He'll hand it off to Shearer. Shearer's tripped up on the far side. He'll pick up no gain, actually. I thought the forward progress would give him at least 1.
I think it did.
And it did give him 1, so it's going to be a 3rd down and 5.5. 8:25 to go, quarter 2. All Merrillville, 21-0. As Steve McIntyre and company signal the plays in on the far side. Johnny Sorensen is in his 2nd varsity start. He'll be in a shotgun formation. Hobart 2 for 4 in the 3rd down conversion so far this game. Here's a quarterback, Sorensen on the keeper. Sidesteps the defender, still on his feet. No, he did not get the 1st down. What a great defensive effort by Jaden Mason. Mason would not allow him to turn it upfield, and Sorensen, instead of lowering his head, he did what he's supposed to do, and that's get out of bounds. That's the last thing you want to do is lower your head and get hurt.
But he also showed his inexperience there, not knowing where the 1st down was. I think if he'd have known he needed 1 more yard, he might have dove or something to try and get that extra yard for the 1st down. Instead, it's going to be 4th and 1.
And the ball, they need to get to the Merrillville 49-yard line. The ball is on the near hash mark. 2 receivers to the short. Now is Mason Jackson's tight end is on the right side. Merrillville showing blitz. Here's the 1st down run, and they got it as they pile drive to the 46-yard line. Great blocking up front by O'Connor, Diaz, and Oligay as they bust things free. And a nice little run by Willie Shearer, a 5'9", 175-pound junior. He's been pretty active for this Hobart offense so far today. 7:45 to go now here in quarter 2. It is 21-0 in favor of the home team.
3rd quarter score, Penn 21-7 over Mishawaka. Back
to pass now. Here's Sorensen throw a home run ball down the near side. Pass is incomplete. Intended receiver was the 6'4", 175-pound junior Aiden Leonard. Mark Deloso had him in press coverage. And pass incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
In the 2nd quarter, Hanover Central 14-0 over Morton.
Now here's your 2nd down and 10 scenario. Brickies with a 2 receiver set to the far side. As they'll have on the near side, it'll be Leonard. It'll be T.J. Caldwell. On the far side, as Sorensen surveying the situation, looks to the left side. 4 down linemen now for Merrillville. Here comes the blitz from the outside linebacker. Sorensen rolling to the near side, throws the ball downfield. Ball caught for a 1st down by Leonard, and he is wrapped up right around the 32-yard line. A 14-yard gain. Nice little effort by Johnny Sorensen, the 1st-year starting quarterback for the Brickies.
Also a great job by Leonard just sitting there at the first down and then turning around and getting a couple 3 yards more.
That was the best job I've seen Sorensen tonight. Best play he's made tonight. Nice improvisation, found the open receiver, first down.
Leonard to the near side, Caldwell over to the far side. Here's the run by Shear off the left side. He drives for about 6 yards, make it 7. As get it down to about the 26-yard line. Officially, that was a 6-yard gain. So a second down and 4.
Hobart slowly starting to see some success in the run game.
6:43 to go. Clock rolling in the second quarter. 21-0 Merrillville advantage. 2 to the left, 1 to the right now. Shearer straight up the middle's got the first down as he lowers his shoulder, gets him square, and keeps those legs turning all the way down to the 22-yard line to pick up a 4. And Hobart can move the chains as they're nearing the red zone for the first time tonight.
The deepest penetration into Merrillville territory, and obviously their best drive of the night, Paul. This is the night play of the drive. 3 first downs on the drive for Hobart.
Sorensen now sees a 1 receiver set here to the near side, and Leonard 2 receivers set to the left side. Shear. Now they'll send a man in motion to the left side, and Mason Jackson. Sorensen back to pass, throws out here, ball caught by Leonard, gets past the defender, and gets down to the 16-yard line. Pick up a 6.
Halftime score: West Central all over Lake Station, 52-0, and West Lafayette 9-3 over McCutcheon.
2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right side now, as the Brickies are going to put 2 men in the backfield. As Sorensen has 1 on his left hip, and Shearer on his right behind him. He'll go to Shearer off the left side. Shearer to the 10. Shearer turns the corner to the 5, and he's ran out of bounds. It'll be first and goal for the Bricks. Beautiful run to the back side of the formation. A 12-yard scamper for junior Willie Shearer.
Also a great block by T.J. Caldwell.
And now the Brickies with the ball officially going to put it down at the 4-yard line. 11th play of this impressive drive for HHS so far. 5:31 to go here in this second quarter. Merrillville a 21-0 leader. As it'll be a receiver to the near and 1 to the left. As there's going to be a timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout as well. 21-0 Merrillville. We'll be back in 60 seconds on WEFM.
There is no easy way in. There are no compromises, shortcuts, or excuses. There is no backing down, slowing down, or giving up. There is no greater challenge and no greater purpose. There is no easy way in. If there were, it wouldn't be the Marine Corps. If you think you have what it takes to earn the title, visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES. The few, the proud, the Marines.
You can buy technology from anyone, but Qubit Networks is the difference that you have been looking for. They strive to provide highly innovative solutions to your unique technology needs. Qubit Networks is passionate about you, and they are dedicated to making your purchase a great experience and one you will never forget. For more information, call 219-369-4357. That's 219-369-4357, or visit them on the web at www.qubitnet.com.
Back to Demery Stadium, 5:31 to go in the second quarter. Merrillville leading 21-0. Hobart, however, with a first and goal at the 4-yard line. Here is the run towards the goal line and scoring the touchdown for the Brickies on the far side. Beautiful play there by Willie Shearer, as he's been the workhorse for this Hobart offense thus far. And Hobart's on the score sheet here at the 5:25 mark. And it's now a 21-6 ball game.
That drive, you really saw Steve really mix up the play calling between the passes and the running.
I think it's one of the most efficient drives I've seen our former broadcast partner calling since we've had a chance to do some of his games. Point after touchdown from Xander Langford. He was 1 for 2 last week. Here is the kick, partially blocked. It clings off the right upright. It is no good. And it's now a 21-6 score. We're going to keep it right here and thank some of our fine sponsors for all the details, including our great friend at personal injury attorney Dave Cox. Dave, my man Dave, proudly supports Region football, wishes the Brickies and all the Region teams best of luck. We hope you never need his services, but if you're hurt in a wreck, call Cox. Attorney Cox is a life member of the $1 Million Advocates Forum and is dedicated to representing seriously injured victims of negligence and getting fair and just results. For a free consultation and to discuss his best game plan in your case, call or text him at 219-CALLCOX, which is 219-225-5269, or check him out online at davecoxlaw.com. Cox Law Office, located at 8792 East Ridge Road in Hobart. And so here we are at with the score 21-6. Randall, you got a thought there?
A couple scores locally. Crown Point leads 14-7 over Taft in the first quarter. Northwood all over Portage 28-0, and Valpo 21-0 still.
And now Hobart to kick off from left to right. We'll get a recap from Frank Kilpikowski here momentarily as Xander Langford, the junior, will tee up the football on the far side. A pair of the Pirates deep. Dermott Bogart on the far side. Javion Gills will be over here along the near side. As Langford approaches the football, punches it, and that one's going to go into the end zone, and he will not be able to run it out. Now let's go over to Frank Kilpikowski because he's ready to recap that impressive Hobart scoring drive.
It was a good one, Paul. 11 plays, 59 yards, took 3:39 off the clock. Shearer scoring from 4 yards out at the 5:25 mark. The PAT, as you mentioned, partially blocked it, hitting the upright. So it remains 21-6 Merrillville, 5:23 to go after that kickoff there, and the Pirates will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line, where they're 3 out of 3 thus far.
Great to hear from our good friend Dave Josephorsky, listening tonight out in North Carolina, the former Merrillville quarterback and Marine, just finished up his 25 years career as the United States Marine Corps as a colonel. Is blessed to be able to go up to his retirement ceremony as well as a couple other opportunities. Nearly a fumble on the play as JQ and the quarterback Pope collide, and JQ Johnson is able to get hit at the line of scrimmage, and that'll be a no game. We need to write that down, file that for forever.
JQ with 133 yards thus far in the first half. That's his lowest carry of the night. He had a 1-yarder and a 2-yarder, but no gain there.
One receiver to the near side, one to the left side. Pope flushed out of the pocket. Under heavy duress, and he is ripped to the turf by Brad Gibson, the All-State player with an outstanding play right there. That'll be a loss of, we'll call it 6. He's just been everywhere tonight.
Yep.
Hands down the leader on the defense, and he has been an absolute pleasure to watch. His brother, member of the Indiana Football Digest primetime 25 a year ago, is now playing down at Marion University, playing for another Hobart guy, Teddy Football Karras.
Mm-hmm.
3 receivers to the right side, 2 to the near side now here for the Bucks. Faced with a 3rd down and 15 at their own 15. Here's the quarterback.
Oh, nice.
Oh, what a play at the line of scrimmage, getting a hand in there for Hobart. I believe it was Maurice MacArthur.
Yeah.
MacArthur got the big paw out there and tripped him up, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And don't look now, Frank.
It's the punt team.
The Merrillville punt team, which has not been on the field a lot.
Just once.
Yeah, they came out once, and there was a running into the kicker.
And Darian Wiggins, the sophomore, his long on the year is 27, averaging 21.5 per. So Hobart should get a pretty good field position.
Oh, boy.
And that short punt is going to be a
roll.
shankopotamus, and it goes all the way to the 30 and to the 37-yard line. Oh, my. Hobart, because of a special teams mistake by Merrillville, find themselves sitting with the short porch here, trailing 21-6 with 3:17 to go. Officially on the punt, Frank, 21 yards. And what can I tell you? His average coming in was 21.5.
Hobart also will receive.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. Good catch.
And now
chance for a 2-for-1 here, and Hobart can get right back in this thing.
And now the Bricky offense. O'Connor, Diaz, Oligay, Juris, Ray digging up on the far side. Caldwell will be wide here to the near side. Leonard wide to the far side. Sorensen throws a little dart ball caught. So breaking free down the far sideline, and it'll be a first down and a gain of 13 yards. Down to about the 15-yard line. Outstanding play by the Bricks coming through and making that play. Aiden Leonard's been, I just like the way he has played his field game. He's come back to the line of scrimmage, 13-yard gain and a first down.
These comeback routes and these curl routes for Hobart have brought out real success these last two drives.
And in motion coming to the near side. Here's the end around. They hand it off to Caldwell. Caldwell to the 20. Caldwell to the 15, and he's run out of bounds. And that's going to be very close to a first down. They're going to give him 9. So T.J. Caldwell, member of the Indiana Football Digest, primetime 21, getting his first rush of the year. I like that call there.
Me too.
So it's going to be second down and 1. 3:04 to go in the quarter and at the half. Hobart knocking at the door, trailing 21-6. 2 to the left side, 1 to the right side now. It's Sorensen. A little dart pass inside, ball is caught for a first down at the 10-yard line.
I think that was Zach Bloom.
Beautifully time ball. And Zach Bloom, a 5'9", 175-pound senior, makes the catch for a first down. I mentioned it during the starting lineup. Zach Bloom's dad, Dougie, was on the cover of the Indiana Football Digest.
They're going to mark it first and goal.
Played 49 games for Don Howe and the Brickies. Zach, who has had his sophomore season cut short with an injury. He had his junior season cut short with the injuries, playing in only his 9th varsity game tonight. Here's a run by Shear up the middle, and he is hit and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Great defensive effort by the Merrillville Pirates at the line of scrimmage. And coming up and making the play for Merrillville was Jeremiah Jordan. And it's going to bring up a second down. Gain of 1 on the play. Jeremiah Jordan thought he had the football. And the tie goes to the offense.
Forward progress.
So here's your second down opportunity. Here is Sorensen, throws a little dart flag down the field, pass incomplete. Intended receiver here was Jackson. Now let's see what the call is going to be by the guys in black and white. Officials, crew tonight. I think they've been solid.
Yeah. It's just going to be a sideline. No flag. It's going to be a sideline warning. So it'll be 3rd and 9.
And so, here's your 3rd down and 9. Ball at the 9-yard line. 2 to the right, 1 to the left now. Sorensen in a shotgun. He'll run it to Shear to the right side. Shear finds it difficult sledding and may have lost a yard on the play. I believe he did. He's going to lose a yard. So now it's 4 down territory here, and let's see what Steve McIntyre and Craig Osee could dial up. The field goal so far unit has yet to. They've knocked down 1.
It's probably a good time for one here. Get some points on the board here. As Randy mentioned, they're going to get the ball first to start the second half. You can get back into it then. To try and get 10 yards here, you don't want to give Merrillville the momentum going into the half.
Langford, 1 for 1 on the year, a 41-yarder from the hold. Zach Bloom, 28-yard attempt to move from left to right.
Timeout, Hobart.
Timeout.
Clock was winding down, and that's a heads-up play by Zach Bloom, because Bloom said, hey, listen, we got a problem here. And so he calls the timeout. And with that being said, that'll give the Bricky kicker, Xander Langford, an opportunity to think it over. Coming up at the half, we'll have a wide variety of things to visit with you about, including we'll have scores from around the Hoosier State, a sneak preview into what's going on with the Duneland Athletic Conference. Of course, we'll be back in DAC play next week, and we'll be there the remainder of the regular season.
What will it be? Season number what for you in the Duneland Conference? 50 what?
51.
51, yeah.
All 51 in some capacity, somewhere, somehow.
Yep. To me, that's an amazing stat. That's like the Vin Scully of the Duneland Conference.
Well, I mentioned it before. I was a freshman at Hobart. The first year the Duneland Conference was
you can't
started.
get it. You can't really get much longer than that. Then.
No, from the hold of Doug Bloom. Or listen to me, Zach Bloom. Good snap, Zach with the perfect placement and a block. Nice job by the Merrillville Pirates. I believe getting a hand on it was Jaden Mason, and he paid for it dearly. And so the Brickies' offensive opportunity was thwarted with 1 minute to go, and that is an absolute backbreaker.
Yeah, that's a momentum killer right there. You have a chance you'd scored on your last possession, a chance to get 3 more and get the ball first in the second half, and make it with an opportunity at least to make it a 1-score game. And the special teams there let them down, so it'll be first down Bucks.
Merrillville, which has scored 3 of the 4 times they've touched the football, find themselves in a situation now. Let's see what Brad Cease decides to do with 1 minute to go exactly on the second quarter clock. His team leading 21-6. We saw this last week in our game between Penn and Valparaiso. We thought, Penn was just going to kind of take it easy, and they ended up with an interception and then cost them 7 points. I talked to Corey Yeoman about that at dinner on Thursday night on my radio show. And here's Pope, quarterback keeper. And a talented senior finds some running to the 30, 35, and ran out of bounds.
Smart play.
And by the signal caller, Willie Shearer ran him out of bounds. Not before a big play, and moves him all the way out here to the 39-yard line. A 19-yard gain, and only eclipsed 7 seconds off the clock.
Well, now that'll get you at least considering what to do here. As you mentioned, Paul, only 7 seconds off the clock, and you're already near the 40-yard line. You might take a couple of cracks down the field here. 2
receivers to the right side, 2 to the left now for Pope. As J.Q. Johnson's on his right hip, and the quarterback on the keeper will dart to the outside. And he was slowed down initially defensively by Jacob Ramirez. Greg Gibson was waiting in the wings to pick up a 7. But he got out of bounds and stopped the clock with 47.6.
Yeah, it's a good job by him. Merrillville, I believe, only has 1 timeout left, so he's trying to preserve that timeout there and has done so on these first 2 runs of theirs. So as they're close to midfield here with a second down and short upcoming.
Now a 3-receiver set for Pope to the far side, 1 to the near side is J.Q. Johnson on his right hip. Again, Brickies with 3 down linemen. And here's Pope going to take off and run again straight up the middle. He's got the first down. As he's over the midfield stripe, he just continues to drive forward. And he gets down to the Bricky 49-yard line with 38.9 seconds to go.
It'll stop for the moment as he gains 5 with the first down, but they'll run the clock here as soon as it's set. Again, Merrillville only 1 timeout left. They got to probably get another 35 yards to get in the field goal range.
Peters Martin over on the far side in wide out area, and here's the ball thrown out here to the left side, pass incomplete. The intended receiver was Mark DeLosa. Pass was off the mark. It's going to bring up a second down and 10, but it stops the clock with 28.2 seconds to go.
And it's a good thing he did not hold on to that because the clock would still be running and it likely would have either come close to the end of the half or very near the end.
3 receivers set here to the right side. It'll be Rynell Lewis will be on the far side. He'll be joined out there in a bunch with Peters and Zamir Martin over on the near side. Here is the quarterback, pull back the pass, got a man wide open, ball caught by Gills, makes the catch, falls forward down to the Hobart 35-yard line. Beautiful play by Javion Gills, the 6'176" senior, a 16-yard gain, and with 21.8 seconds to go, they'll move quickly, and there's the spike.
Good job.
And then there's a flag down on the far side.
It may not have been set, or they may have had receivers in motion or something, or could be illegal formation as well. Whenever you get whenever you're scrambling to get the ball snapped like there was there, you could have illegal formation.
Officials will give us the signal here now with 21.2 to go, as they're waiting to sort out things.
Fourth quarter score, Snyder 38, East Noble 17.
False start called on Merrillville, and that'll move it back 5 to about the 40-yard line.
First final of the night, Concord 27, Jimtown 10.
So Jimtown starting the season at 0-2 with 2 tough ones, and then of course Concord starting the season with 2 wins. A win last week against Elkhart and a win against the boys of Baga. Here's the Brickies on the blitz. Pope throws the long ball. He's got a man there. Ball is caught at the 7-yard line. What a sensational effort. And there'll be a timeout called as somehow, some way coming away with the football.
That was Peters.
As Peters, and he's down on the field.
They've got to. If he's hurt, they have to use their timeout for that. But what a catch by Peters! It's going to be a gain of 31.
There was actually great coverage by Hobart on the play, and Pope threw a laser beam and put it right in the only place he could have put it. And Pope just came down on the football and may have taken the wind out of him a little bit.
That's what the case is.
He's sitting up now. Good to see that. But he's going to be helped up off the field by Brad Cease. All is good for one of the talented players in the Duneling Conference, John Peters, only an 11th grader.
So this is a similar situation that Merrillville had the last time we saw them, which was in the regional. They were down inside deep in Valpo territory in the regional, and they passed on a field goal and didn't get the points. And we'll see what they decide to go for here. They do have a little bit more time. At 9 seconds, you could throw one into the end zone, but probably not 2 plays.
As the Pirates come back out onto the field, that was just a quick talk.
Yeah.
And wide here to the near side will be Mark DeLosa. He'll have a 3-receiver set on the far side with Lewis and Martin, respectively. Now Javion Gills is on the right hip of the quarterback. Pope is in the shotgun formation. Pope back the pass, timing pattern towards the back corner of the end zone.
Boy.
Overthrows his intended receiver over there, Zamir Martin, who is the man you look towards, and with 4.1 seconds to go. And I think that Coach Brad Cease is probably going to go for the field goal.
He is. I see Martinez coming on the field.
Martinez has yet to attempt a field goal this season. And looked on the placement, looks like it's going to be a 26-yard field goal attempt from the near side. Martinez wearing jersey number 32. From the hold of Dante Pope, Derek Nelson is the long snapper. Nelson with a perfect snap, perfect placement, and that kick is through the uprights. That kick is good. Merrillville, as the horn sounds, punches 3 on the board, and what a turnaround that is as they go the length of the field to put up 3 on the board. So we are at the half now here in this long-time affair between the Brickies and the Pirates. And it sees the team from the west with the 24-6 lead at the intermission. We'll be back with more of the 49th meeting between Hobart and Merrillville after this 2-minute timeout on WEFM.
State Farm Insurance asked, what if you're walking out to your car and it's been mashed by a runaway garbage truck? Having a State Farm agent means having a real person to help you when things go wrong. So when accidents happen, you've got someone you know who will be there when you need them. See Connie Bernardi, 1072 Joliet Street, U.S. Highway 30 in Dyer. Call Connie at 219-322-9959. State Farm agent Greg Taylor is at 794 McCool Road in Valparaiso. Call Greg at 219-762-4911. And Dave Ross, 450 West Lincoln Way, Suite 210 Valparaiso, 464-3581.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your hometown credit union. People helping people. First Trust Credit Union.
First Trust Credit Union can help you score big with a game plan to support all your financial needs. Our lineup includes accounts, loans, and 24/7 online banking. So get off the bench and contact your hometown First Trust Credit Union team today at 800-276-6161 or firsttrustcu.com.
For the past 95 years, Northwest Indiana has been trusting the Bozak name for automotive sales and service. During that time, the Auto Group expanded from one brand and location to 12 brands in 9 locations today, all under one common name, the Bozak Auto Group. Whether you drive for work or pleasure, Bozak's unrivaled inventory of over 1,900 new and pre-owned cars and trucks has what you need. With over 5,000 5-star Google reviews, see why it's better at Bozak.
Welcome back here on WEFM. Thanks for joining us here for Football Friday, week number 2. Glad you can hang out with us here today. Merrillville and Hobart. It's been all Merrillville here in the first 2 quarters. They lead 24-6 here at the intermission. Let's go over to Frank Kilpakowski. He's got our first half scoring, which is being presented in part by the legendary Scott Miller, the GOAT, as I like to say. Scotty is a 5-star rated broker with numerous awards, accolades, such as the top 1% of all teams within the Berkshire Hathaway nationally, top 15% Homestat nationwide. This guy is just getting it done. The official realtor of Hometown Jams, the Pursue Realties Group top producing agent. Now, don't you like being around people who are winners?
I do.
And this guy is an absolute winner. Scotty, born and raised in Northwest Indiana. He's almost as cool as my main man, Coach Brian Pass, who's here. The legendary soccer coach extraordinaire here
Definitely
in
a
Merrillville.
winner.
Oh, man, one of the greatest soccer coaches. Not a greater ambassador Northwest Indiana has ever seen as Scott Miller as a realtor and Brian Pass as a soccer coach. I mean, that's a tandem. I need to hook these two guys up. And I know if Brian is looking to either move or sell or buy a new home, he's going to call Scott Miller at the Pursue Realty Group in Berkshire Hathaway at 219-263-3039. And don't forget, Scotty Miller's on his website at www.listandbuywithscottmiller.com. If you want to get results, you got to call the GOAT. Call Scott Miller at 219-263-3039. In the market to buy or sell, or what? You know what time it is, Frank?
I do, and so does Brian. It's Scott Miller time.
All right, you can take it away.
All right, scoring summary here. Merrillville wasted no time. They took the opening kickoff, and like a hot knife through butter, went rushing right down the field. 11 running plays, 2 passing plays. Took 5:24 off the clock. J.Q. Johnson capped the drive with a 1-yard touchdown run at the 6:36 mark. That made it 7-0 Merrillville at that point in the first half. After Hobart got 1 first down, they kicked it away to Merrillville, and the Pirates did much of the same on their second drive. Helped out by a 4th down running into the kicker penalty, kept the drive alive, and Merrillville was able to convert as they marched 11 plays, 75 yards, took 5:04 off the clock. It actually led into the first minute of the second quarter. Dante Pope with a 34-yard touchdown run, capping that drive for the Pirates. Giovanni Martinez added a second extra point. It was 14-0 Merrillville at that point. Once again, Hobart just 1 first down the next drive, and then the explosiveness part of the Pirate offense was on display as J.Q. Johnson raced 55 yards, basically untouched for a quick touchdown, capping a 2-play, 66-yard drive. Took just 28 seconds off the clock, and at the 9:04 mark of the second quarter, after a Martinez PAT, that made it 21-0 Pirates in command at that point. But Hobart got things on track on their next drive, converting on a 4th and 1 and getting some good balance, getting some openings in the running game. Sorensen hooking up with Aiden Leonard on a couple of nice passes, and Willie Shearer runs, capped by Shearer scoring the final 4 yards on the touchdown run on an 11-play, 59-yard drive, took 3:39 off the clock. The PAT hit the upright at the 5:25 mark of the second. It was 21-6. Hobart at that point. It looked like they were going to get some more as they stopped Merrillville on a 3-and-out, got a great field position after a short punt, got inside the Merrillville 10-yard line, but they were thwarted there, and then had a field goal blocked with a minute to go in the first half. Looked like it was going to stay 21-6, but a couple of nice scampers by Dante Pope and preserving the clock by getting out of bounds. A beautiful pass to John Peters got them inside the Hobart 10-yard line, and on the final play of the first half, Martinez knocked through a 26-yard field goal. That capped an 8-play, 71-yard drive. That took a 8-play, 71-yard drive. for the final minute of time of possession, and Merrillville goes into the locker room with a very impressive first half performance, 24-6 lead for the Bucks.
And we'll be back with more after this 2-minute timeout on WEFM.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, wherever the mission takes us, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Engravables is your local source for team trophies, plaques, and awards. They're located at 2005 Calumet Avenue in Valparaiso. They are also your local headquarters for badges, ID tags, and signage, gift items, and rubber stamps. Engravables has expanded into promotional products such as pens, calendars, drinkware, and giveaways for your business. For more information, visit their website at engravables.net or call Engravables at 219-477-5656.
Have you checked out Centier Bank's student checking account? This no-fee checking account is perfect for students and teens ages 14 to 24 and comes with all the features you need to succeed, such as a debit card, digital banking, and automatic deposit. Centier Bank can help you start establishing good spending habits today for your better tomorrow. For more information, visit Centier.com/student-checking or visit your local branch. If you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian must also sign on the Centier student checking account. At the age of 25, your account will automatically convert to the Centier checking account. You must deposit $25 to open this account. This account is not eligible for overdraft advantage. Member FDIC.
Welcome back here on WEFM. Paul Condry along with Frank Kilpakowski and Randall Condry. Fred Maxey doing tremendous work over there. By the way, congratulations goes out to the guy who was my guest at dinner on Thursday night. Corey Yeoman, the head football coach at Penn High School. He won his career 200th game as they ran off 28 unanswered points after giving up an early score to Mishawaka as they win the old grocery cart game. Big win for Penn. Penn will be unbeaten going into their game on the road at Cathedral next week. Cathedral having some trouble tonight against a really good Brownsburg team as well.
21-17 Brownsburg at half.
Yep. And we'll get some thoughts on that one. But in the meantime, we got our first half stats being presented in part by our good friends at the McEwen Law Office. The McEwen Law Office, located at 6382 Central Avenue in Portage, litigates personal injury, wrongful death, medical malpractice, civil, eminent domain, and personal and commercial real estate cases. Attorney Patrick McEwen specializes in business law, estates, wills, probate, corporations, partnerships, family law, life, home, and auto insurance coverage disputes. Give Patrick I tell you what, Patrick McEwen won the SQ Award his senior year in high school at Hobart High School. That's the top honor you could receive in all of Indiana high school football because, number one, you have to get to the state finals, and you have to be the top academic guy in the state finals. And so congratulations to Patrick. He's been doing it his whole career at 219-762-7738. Their website, McEwenLaw.com. Okay, let's go over here to the man with two brains himself. He is Frank Kilpakowski, and he's got our first half stats.
All right, Paul, 24-6 Merrillville out in front, and they have they dominated the first 15, 16 minutes of this ballgame. They dominated the stat sheet as well. 14 first downs for the Pirates, 7 for Hobart. Merrillville, get this, Paul, 298 yards of total offense, 226 on the ground, 72 more through the air. And Hobart, 133 yards total offense, 48 on the ground, 85 through the air. Both teams 2 of 5 on third down conversions. Both teams have been perfect on fourth downs. Hobart converted their only fourth down conversion. Merrillville converted 2 out of 2. Neither team has turned the ball over here in the first half. Hobart with 3 penalties for 15 yards, Merrillville 4 for 20. Merrillville still with a pretty solid edge in time of possession, just a shade over 14 minutes to just under 10 minutes for Hobart High School. Some individual numbers of note in the first half. J.Q. Johnson, a tremendous first half for him. 15 carries, 133 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Dante Pope, also a good first half on the ground, 9 carries, 77 yards, and a touchdown. He had 2 rushing touchdowns a week ago, so he's got 3 now in the season. Pope through the air, hasn't thrown it a whole lot, but not bad when he has. 5 out of 9 for 72 yards, so he's still well over 50% for the year. He came in 12 out of 15, so he's done nothing to damage that too much. In fact, his 5 completions, Paul, they've been to 5 different receivers, which you like to see. John Peters with that 31-yard reception at the end of the first half. Dermont Bogard had a 23-yard catch, and Javion Gills had a 14-yard reception for the Pirates. Meanwhile, for Hobart, Willie Shearer has been the predominant ground carrier for the Brickies. 11 carries, 31 yards. He has the lone touchdown. Johnny Sorensen had 3 rushes for 4 yards. Sorensen through the air started off a little slow, got hot toward the last 7-8 minutes of the first half. He was 7 of 13 for 85 yards in that first half. He hooked up 3 times with Shearer for 47 yards, and Aiden Leonard added 3 catches for 33 yards. Zach Bloom 1 for 5. Nothing from T.J. Caldwell yet. He did have a 9-yard carry on a reverse, but they have not been able to connect with Caldwell yet here in the first half. 24-6, Merrillville leads it here at Demery Stadium.
I can guarantee you one thing, that Randall Condry tomorrow will not be rooting for Fred Maxey's favorite football.
Neither will Frank Kilpakowski.
But what I don't understand is how Fred Maxey, a Navy guy,
he usually has good
can root against Navy. I just don't.
Either way,
listen to this. Listen to him.
He's trying to play the middle.
He's been drinking this Notre Dame Kool-Aid stuff for so long.
He needs to hang around. He needs to hang around us a little bit more often.
1:30 to kick.
We will educate him on how to properly root for in college football.
We'll be back with more after this 2-minute timeout. 24-6 our score here at the intermission. We'll be back right after this.
A community isn't just a bunch of people living in the same place. A community is when those people form bonds built on mutual respect and trust. Horizon Bank is a community bank. We build relationships over time with exceptional service and sensible advice. With advisors who listen to your dreams, then work to turn them into a reality. Come in today or visit us at horizonbank.com and let us show you. Horizon Bank. Before we lend, we listen. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Folks, if you're like me, those pearly whites have seen better days. The skilled staff at Forest Ridge Family Dentistry can help with Lumi Bright chairside professional whitening. They're open Monday through Thursday with evening and Saturday hours to fit your schedule. Just think, in just 90 minutes you can have a smile up to 8 shades lighter than when you walked in the door. That's Forest Ridge Family Dentistry, 7303 Forest Ridge Drive in Schererville. Mention that Regional Radio Sports sent you and get $100 off your Lumi Bright procedure by calling today at 219-756-2345.
State Farm Insurance asks, if you're feeling stuck in a state of compensation stagnation, another year with no raise, then let State Farm help you get to a better state with a discount double check that can stretch your hard-earned dollars a little farther. They'll go through your car insurance to make sure you're getting all the discounts you deserve. Discounts could add up to 40% and put a few $100 extra in your pocket. Discounts may vary state to state. Danny DeTola, 2449 45th Street, Highland, 963-4444. Andrea Harbin, 6504 U.S. Highway 6 Portage, 762-5514. And Robert Dacus, 835 Lincoln Way Avenue, Valparaiso, 476-7444.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Thanks for joining us here on WFM. I'm glad you can hop along for week 2 of the high school football season here on WEFM. Privileged to be able to be with you here on 95.9 FM for a quarter of a century. Some key games in the Duneland Conference, and we'll get some scores. Let's go over here to Randall. Randall's got some scores from around the Hoosier State, and Frank's going to set up some matchups for next week as most of the major leagues in Northwest Indiana will get into league play. Take them away, Randall.
Bremen 42-7 over Southland Washington, fourth quarter. Last score we had is Culver Academy 7-7 with Mishawaka Marion in second. Northridge in the third quarter 35-22 over Elkhart. New Prairie 22-10 at half. You heard Corey Yeoman gets his 200th win. First school ever to have two 200-win coaches. 28-7 Penn over Mishawaka. 15-8 Adams over Logansport. LaVille 22-16 over Triton. Knox 30-14 over McConaughey. North Jetson 27-7 at halftime. West Noble 20-12 over Wawasee, that's a final. Another final, Columbus City 42-14 over Plymouth. Second quarter, Ben Davis 21-0. Downstate, Center Grove 28. The number 31 team in this country, Oakland, Tennessee 10. That's in the third.
That's a final now.
It is?
Yeah,
That's the final?
According to the Herald
Okay.
site, yep.
Also, late in the fourth quarter, Christian Brothers all over Carmel, 55-28. And then also in the third quarter, Carroll 7-6 over Warren.
Did you say that Adams Logansport game was a final?
No.
Okay.
A couple other scores, Paul, involving Michiana teams off the site here. Bremen beats South Bend Washington 42-7. I'm not sure if Randy mentioned this. I think you mentioned it earlier. Concord beating Jimtown 27-10. And then you've got Pioneer shutting out Winnemac tonight 37-0.
Okay, in the Duneland next week, we've got Chesterton, Michigan City, Merrillville, Crown Point, Portage Lake Central, and we will be in LaPorte for Valpo and LaPorte. And who'd have ever thunk it that LaPorte, I mean, seriously, when we put the schedule together, we've done that game for the last, I don't know, decade or so, and it's always been a very competitive game. But LaPorte does give a lot of credit to that young coaching staff for coming out of the gates quick, and they're making plays.
I think we actually expected a 2-0 team in that game. We did not expect it to be LaPorte.
Right,
but they haven't won yet tonight. They're in a tight one with Lowell.
Well, they now trailing 14-7 in the third quarter, and also Crown Point is all over Taft, 42-7 at half. Northwood 35-7 at half, and Chesterton still leads Warsaw 6-2. In the fourth.
That's going to be a key game in the Duneland right out of the gate next week, Paul. These Pirates and Crown Point, that could be offensive fireworks next week down at Bulldog Field. You could see 100 points in that one.
Yeah, you could. That's going to set the tone who's going to win that league, I think, between those two teams. I think you have to say that it's a three-team race at this time.
Yeah, I think there's a big gap. Yeah. Well, Lake Central has been playing pretty well. They're playing a tough team from Illinois tonight, but we'll see where Lake Central fits in the scheme of things. But yeah, you would think as of right now, it's looking like a three-team race. But that is a key game. All
right, we're going to get you back to live play here as the Merrillville quarterbacks are warming up down here below us, and of course, both of those signal callers played in the first half. Senior Dante Pope and Jordan Saunders both had reps. 24-6 our score here. Hobart decked out with the white pants and the white jerseys, the gold numbers, and the Rickies' traditional gold helmets. The Merrillville Pirates decked out in the white pants, the purple jerseys, the white numbers, Merrillville written in front, and of course the purple helmets with the numbers on the side in white on purple. Glad you've been able to stop by with us here tonight for our Duneland Conference game with at least one of the two schools here as we're ready to get underway here in this one, in this third quarter. Our coverage here today being presented in part by our friends at Ivy Tech Lake County.
Yes, your future is waiting for you at Ivy Tech Lake County. From information technology to healthcare, automotive, hospitality, Ivy Tech Lake County has programs designed to get you where you need to be so you're ready for the job you want. We have new classes starting in October, so come in and register today. Call 219-392-3600 or visit ivytech.edu/Lake County and enroll today. Your future begins this fall at Ivy Tech Lake County.
All right, glad you've been able to be with us here today for this one. Look forward to you hopping along. Frank, if you look ahead to our schedule throughout the course of the rest of the month, we've got week number 4 should present a very entertaining offering.
Yes, it's while this one's your favorite night, Paul, it's very special to me, the Patriots night at Viking Field. I love everything that they do there, and Coach Marshall has really stepped up the the honoring of different people and getting the community, really the whole town of Valparaiso gets involved, the school and the community, and what they've done with what started from a student athlete's kind of brainchild about 8-9 years ago has turned into really a celebration and a remembrance and an honoring for the people that we kind of take for granted on a daily basis. You know,
including those two guys to our left over there, Fred Maxey and Randall Condry, both members of the United States military. Freddie's a Navy guy, Randy's a Marine guy, so we're glad that we have two great veterans in the broadcast booth with us here today. And we're ready to go here for this one. Once again, our officials, here in case you're just hopping along here today for our broadcast, these guys have been spot on, I think. And I can't say that they've been out of position or in any place done anything wrong here tonight.
When you don't mention their names, they must be doing their jobs well, and they have been. Mike Estelle has done a great job, head referee tonight. Kyle Keith, Dino Spratis, Jeff Coggins, Trevor Medved. Really A-plus job thus far, guys, in the black and white. We need more crews like them, in fact, in Indiana.
A dueling game. City gets the lead over Jeff, 21-20 in the third, and Griffith 14-13 over Munster.
Wow, good for them. Phil Mason trying to pick up his first win as the
for Griffith,
coach of the Griffith Panthers. All right, so here we go. The Merrillville Pirates now on the near side of from our vantage points. Of course, Brad Cease, who's done a formidable job since he's been here, and it'll be interesting to see how how long he continues here. He's had just great success here. I know he's got a very, very young family with four youngins, and so
it seems like he was just hired, and yet he's probably he's one of the more in the DAC now. He's now one of the experienced coaches, if not the most. Him and I think Mark Peterson's probably number one, but I think he's number two now as far as tenure in the DAC.
63 wins and 32 losses, and the Pirates in search of victory number 530 in his illustrious 78 years of football here tonight, and we're still trying to figure out what the delay is with our officials. Teams are just waiting on the sideline. The officials had to go to the team and say, hey, get on the field, we're ready to play. And so we are. So the Brickies will be moving from right to left on your screen as to kick off the football to start this third quarter. For Merrillville will be Giovanni Martinez, the senior, who had that field goal at as time expired. And deep for Hobart will be Willie Shear. He'll also be joined deep by Connor Stafford. Stafford will be on the near side. Shear will be on the far side. As Martinez puts his hand in the air, gets the okay from the guys in black and white, and we're underway with the third quarter as the ball is angled here and is taken at the 10-yard line by Stafford. Stafford to the 20, and he is high tackled on the 24-yard line.
Jeremiah Jordan with the tackle.
And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bricky offense. Now let's get them settled into their spots here as they come out here for offensive coordinator Steve McIntyre. At the guards, it's going to be Josh Diaz and Luke Juris. At the tackles, it'll be Patrick O'Connor and Jackson Ray. The center is Aiden Oligay, the 5'11", 270-pound senior, as they'll settle in right now. And the Brickies will have T.J. Caldwell here to the near side, two receivers set to the right side, as senior Johnny Sorensen's in the shotgun formation with Willie Shear on his right hip. And here is the quarterback Sorensen on the keeper. He'll run to the right side, and he'll pick up about a yard on the play. Not much more than that, as he's ran out of bounds by Jaden Mason. Mason, a second tackle of the game for him.
Seems like he's been on a lot of them.
Yes, he's played well.
Yeah.
He's been in the same zip code, that's for sure. So it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 9. 24-6 Merrillville here in this third quarter. Just underway. And in motion is Leonard coming to the near side. Shotgun Sorensen. Sorensen looking things over. Looks, throws over here. Ball is caught by Leonard. He sidesteps the defender. Gets out to the 29-yard line to pick up a 6. It's going to bring up a 3rd down, and we'll call it 3.5 for Hobart. They need to get to the 32-yard line to move the chains.
Merrillville playing very soft coverage with the slants and the curls, but letting Hobart have it. But Hobart needs to pick this third down.
Yes, they do. And they'll have Caldwell here to the near side and Leonard to the far side. Little offset eye now here for Johnny Sorensen. Sorensen, he has the tight end in the slot. They go to Shear. He gets past one, lowers his shoulders, dives forward, and then there's a flag down on the far side. I think there's going to be an illegal shift. That's my projection here from our vantage point. What do you think?
Shear did not get the first down. They only picked up maybe a yard, but I think it is going to be on the Brickies.
Yes, it will be a 5-yard markup. So the question is for Brad Cease and company, do you say, okay?
You're looking at either 3rd and 8 or 4th and 2 plus.
So
tough call here.
I think
they're going to decline and make them go for it on 4th and 2.
You got to punt it here.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd down or 4th down.
Going to go.
And the Brickies are going to go for it. A 4th and 4 from their 28, trailing 24-6. And they've got
mass confusion.
And there's the timeout call by Hobart on the far side.
They got mixed personnel on the field.
I think they want to get the punt team in there.
Yeah.
I think that's what they want. Timeout taken. We're going to keep it right here and thank some of our great sponsors, including my buddy Dave Cox, personal injury attorney. Dave Cox proudly supports Region football and wishes the Brickies and all the other Region teams best of luck. We hope you never need his service, but if you're hurt in a wreck, call Cox. Attorney Cox is a life member of the $1 Million Advocates Forum and is dedicated to representing seriously injured victims of negligence and getting fair and just results. For a free consultation and to discuss his best game plan in your case, call him or text him at 219-CALLCOX, which is 219-225-5269, or check him out online at davecoxlaw.com. Located at 8792 East Ridge Road in Hobart. Dave Cox Law. Glad you could hop along with us. For this one, they're going to brought in the punt team, and he easily got the punt away. Did Xander Langford, and he got a good one. It's taken by Gillis, and he is wrapped up. Great special teams coverage by Hobart, hustling down the field. A whale of an effort by Connor Stafford, the 5'10", 165-pound junior. And there's going to be no gain on the punt return, and so Merrillville's offense will have the football with a 1st and 10 at its own 39-yard line.
I'll pass along some of the local scores, Paul. 4th quarter, I've been hoping for this all night. The running clock has begun in South Bend. Boone leads Clay 46-6. That's in the 4th quarter. Warsaw kicks a field goal, Paul. It's 6-5 now, Chesterton in that one. We have some more scores after this play.
Once again, Swanson, Rule, Hicks, Ireland, and Sanders, the big boys up front for Merrillville. And they'll run straight up the middle, and difficult sledding for J.Q. Johnson. He may have picked up 2 yards on the play. We'll call it 2nd down today. Once again, in case you're just joining us, Hobart guys up front, Martinez, MacArthur, Castillo. That's your down lineman. We haven't heard a lot from Jared Hansen today. He had a busy day last week with 9 tackles. And we have a Brickie down on the field. I think that looks like a cramp out there, and we got a chance to get caught up on scores.
Yeah, I'll give you some of the more local scores, give these guys a chance to catch their breath a little bit. Morton is out on the board. They've cut the Hanover lead in half to 14-7 in that one. Highland all over Whiting 46-0. They're going to be 2-0 when they play Hanover Central next week. That's to open up Northwest Crossroads Conference play. Lowell has extended the lead on LaPorte 20-7 now in the 3rd. I think the guys mentioned this. Michigan City on top of Jeff 21-20. Munster has bounced back, and they've reclaimed the lead in a seesaw game with Griffith 19-14. And it's Providence Catholic now with a 2-touchdown lead on Lake Central 28-14.
That Munster game is 27-20 Munster.
Gotcha. Thank you.
As the Brickie's still down in the middle of the field. And the legendary trainer Mark Lito helps up Willie Shear, and Willie will trot off the field. Good to see that. Boy, talk about legends. Mark Lito, longtime trainer at Hobart, certified athletic trainer, belongs in the Certified Athletic Training Hall of Fame in my book, as well as the Hobart Athletic Hall of Fame. one of the greatest ambassadors for Hobart Athletics, certainly from my vantage point. Two receivers from Merrillville to the left side as Dante Pope will keep it and run off the near side. Flag down. Pope gets free and ran out of bounds after he picks up the first down, but this one's coming back.
Yeah, we're looking at a hold here, I think, as he got through the broke through a tackle, and the referee said, not so fast.
And so the mark off with 9:41 to go in the third.
He got through that tackle because the other guy was getting held,
right,
and they couldn't get two hands on him.
This is going to be the first 10-yard penalty for either team tonight. All the penalties thus far have been 5 yards. So this is going to put Merrillville in a bit of a hole here.
Wide to the far side will be John Peters. Zamir Martin will be to the right. He'll be also joined out there by Rynell Lewis. A week ago, 8 penalties for 44 yards.
5 tonight.
And now 2 receivers right and 2 to the left as J.Q. Johnson's now on the right hip of Dante Pope, who's in the shotgun. Bricky showing blitz. There's Pope on the keeper. Straight up the middle. He's got a gaping hole to the 40, 45, 50. Sidesteps the defender, and he's dragged down from behind at the 41-yard line of Hobart. My, oh, my. Pope, with a great read, realized he had the parting of the Red Sea, Volume 2. Picks up 33 yards and a Merrillville first down with 9:18 to go in the third.
Pope's going to have to come out for one play for his helmet coming off.
Merrillville now with 2 rushers over 100 yards as Pope cracks the century mark, 110 yards on 10 carries.
Jordan Sanders quickly into the ballgame, the backup quarterback, only a 10th grader at 6'1", 235. He's in the shotgun. Play action. They're going to go to him. He's going to throw the ball deep down the right side. He's got a man there. The ball is incomplete. Oh, my. Zamir Martin should have had the ball for 6 points and lost it in the, I think he lost it in the lights, honestly. And the Brickies fortunate there because that should have been 6.
That was in the breadbasket and out.
And with that incomplete pass, makes it 2nd down and 10 here at the 9:02 mark. It's ball on the 41-yard line of Hobart.
It's kind of a high arching throw. It was like the center fielder trying to wait for that one to come down, and like I said, it was in his breadbasket, just did not secure it.
I think Connor Stafford was a little confused on it too.
Yeah, he was.
He looked both ways, and he's like, "Where's the ball?"
2 to the right now, unbalanced left now. Here they run off the right side. JQ straight up the middle, breaks free across the 30, picked up at 12 yards, and a Merrillville first down. How about that? A 3rd and 10 conversion for the Bucks. And with 8:55 to go here in the third, Merrillville leading 24-6. They're looking for more.
Hold on a second. They're going to say the ball. Merrillville tried to go with a quick count that time. Referee saying I think the ball was. I don't think the sticks had been spotted just quite yet. So they're going to reset everything and re-snap it here.
Center Grove beats the #1 team out of Tennessee today, 28-10.
Dante Pope, who after that long 33-yard scamper, remains on the sideline as Jordan Sanders in at quarterback. He takes the quick snap, hands it off to JQ, and he piles across the 25 down to the 24-yard line. And like that, they continue to just pick up yardage at 6.5 a clip at this stage. Peters and Martin here to the right side. Wide. And the slot to the left side is tight end. And once again, this time it's J.Q. Johnson. Here's Johnson. Straight up the middle. Sidesteps the defenders inside the 20 down to the 15-yard line. A beautiful 11-yard scamper for the talented sophomore from Merrillville. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Merrillville at the Hobart 14-yard line.
To be 5'7", 184, and to bounce off tacklers like that, and to have vision like he has, it's pretty special for a sophomore.
Dante Pope back in at the quarterback spot. He's had a chance to get his lungs filled back up, and he's ready to rock. He's in that shotgun with J.Q. Johnson just behind him. Here's a fumble on the play as Dante and JQ collide, and that'll be a loss on the play. Correct me if I'm wrong, Frank. Only the second or third. I know Gibson had a tackle for loss. That'll be only Hobart's second?
Yeah, that's only the second one. Yeah. That was a busted play right there.
Yes, it was. With 7:13 to go in the third, Merrillville holding a 24-6 advantage. Wow. Wide to the far side, John Peters. And now the unbalanced portion of the line is to the right side. Ryan Cummings, the big tight end. Now they break back the other way. Pope goes into the end zone for the touchdown. What a run that time. Call it 17 yards. Merrillville dunks the scoreboard again here at Demery Stadium. They up the ante to 30-6 with 6:47 to go in the third quarter.
Hey, how about
And with the point after touchdown, courtesy of Giovanni Martinez. Martinez to kick from left to right, respectively, from the hold of Dante Pope. Nelson, the long snapper, perfectly places the ball there. And Pope sends one towards Crown Point. 31-6 for Merrillville with 6:47 to go in the third. We'll be back in 60 seconds on WEFM.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and a proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Thanks for joining us here as we're rocking you here from Demery Stadium. 31-6 on a picturesque fall evening. Glad you've hopped along here for the final Football Friday of the month of August of 2023. I'm Paul Condry along with Frank Kilpikowski and Randall Condry and Fred Maxey, Tiny Condry with all the details, keeping the crew in line. Here's the kickoff taken by Scheer at the 10 to the 20, and he is racked up at the 27-yard line, and that's where Ricky's offense will start up shot. But let's go over to Frank as he'll recap the fifth scoring opportunity for Merrillville.
Yes, it was an 8-play, 66-yard drive, 3:26 off the clock. Dante Pope with his second touchdown run of the night, his fourth of the season, 17 yards on the score. At the 6:47 mark, Martinez, a perfect 4 for 4 on PATs. 31-6 Pirates here in the third quarter. And Paul, a couple of numbers I want to throw at you for Merrillville. 18 first downs in the contest thus far, and team rushing yardage 302.
Pretty good. We knew this coming in the way they were last week. They had 487 yards of total offense. Here's a pass caught out here on the near side. The defender went for the pick six and missed it. And an excellent effort to hustle back into the play was Nathan Gills. Gills, who had the perfect read. I just think he mistimed it. The ball was caught, and it's going to be a pickup of 7. We'll call it a second down and 3.
Two dueling scores. Warsaw has taken the lead over Chesterton 18-6, and Lafayette 8-6, and Lafayette Jet 27-21 over Michigan City.
And with the football pass out here on the flat ball, it's going to be caught, and that's going to be good enough for a first down. Nice little toss out there by Johnny Sorensen as he is able to get the ball out here on the perimeter.
Was that Schlosser on the catch?
It was.
first of the night and first of the season, I believe.
Or was it?
I
Was
think
it Anthony Nillo, number 8? I tell you what, from the far side, it's impossible to see the gold jerseys. And here is the quarterback on the keeper, and he is mauled. Great defensive effort by Jaden Mason as he came to play. Made a great play along with Jalen McAllister, a pair of talented. One thing about this Merrillville team is that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 12 now for Hobart with 5.5 to go. They're trailing 31-6. 18 juniors in this Merrillville class.
Randy, did you pass along that score there, or that big one from down
A little surprising. Brownsburg all over Cathedral, 38-17.
My, oh my.
Here's the quarterback back to pass. They throws it out of bounds. Johnny Sorensen running for his dear life on 3rd and 12. The yard marker had it at 3rd and 12.
Okay, well, they were wrong. It was I had it at 2nd and 12.
Okay,
so it should be 3rd and 12 now.
Well, the guy with the yard marker, and that's what I was looking at. 3rd and 12, and so now it's 3rd and 12.
Now it's 3rd and 12.
Rickies with 2 receivers in the short slot here.
You should know after 30 years to trust me more versus the yard marker.
Here's a pass out here, ball dropped. Intended receiver out here on the near side was Mason Jackson. Ball was at his feet, didn't have a chance. As quarterback Johnny Sorensen just tried to strong arm it out there. Pass incomplete. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 12. And Hobart with the ball at their own 42-yard line will call on the punt team and hope they can get a good one here from their punter, Xander Langford. The one-man deep for Merrillville is Javion Gills. And I don't believe Hobart's got enough guys on the field. Here is the kick high. Gills comes up and fumbled the football, and Hobart has got it. I believe the Brickies have recovered the football on the muff punt, and now Hobart has the ball 1st and 10 at the Merrillville 31-yard line.
That's called a short-handed goal. They had 10 on the field, Paul.
Yeah, they got a break. Gills, who tried to pick it up on the dead run, mistimed it, and that'll be a miscue. And with Merrillville leading 31-6, it doesn't make a difference maybe in this game, but if you do that one of those competitive dueling games, a mistake like that can come back to haunt you.
Mm-hmm.
And so it'll be 1st and 10 for Hobart at the Merrillville 31-yard line with 5:09 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Brickies a 31-6 trailer. And now with a receiver here to the near side, 2 of them. It'll be Caldwell. He'll also be joined by Stafford. Wide to the right side is Leonard. Sorensen back to pass. Timing pattern down the right sideline. And you could have called defensive holding there on the far side. As DeLosa had a hold of the wide receiver's arm, and I'm surprised they didn't get a call there. That should have been a defensive hold.
Yeah, there was definitely some contact there. Difficult to see on the far side, but it looked like there was contact from here.
2nd down and 10 with 4:47 to go in the quarter.
3rd quarter, KV 20, Wheeler 14.
Kirk Kennedy looks like he's going to jump into the win column there.
Coming back from being down early in that one.
Here's your 2nd. What's the 1st and 5 upper? What's the call here? They got 1st and 5 on the scoreboard. 2nd down and 5 on the.
Was there a penalty? Yes, it looks like there was.
Yeah.
Looks like there was a 5-yard penalty on Merrillville.
So a 1st and 5 moves the ball to the 26-yard line, and so that's where they'll be.
That's where the 2nd and 5 has come from.
So now with receivers 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Sorensen flushed out of the pocket, sprints right, looks downfield, throws, ball caught for a 1st down. Beautiful catch.
No, they're saying incomplete.
You're kidding me.
The referee was right there. He must not have got his feet in.
Well, Leonard said he caught the ball and he did the tiptoe through the tulips over there. And that's incomplete. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5.
The referee had the best view in the house. I mean, there was nobody closer except maybe those 2 fans over there, but there was nobody closer to Leonard that time.
And now there's a flag on the field.
What they could be saying, I know I was thinking this, but I wasn't sure. But they could be saying that he went out of bounds and then was the first to touch it. You can't go out of bounds and come back in and catch it.
Says here.
That could be the call here.
Illegal participation. Your offense. You see this step out of bounds, zone, and with the first, the 15 yards.
There you go, Frank. You called it.
Yeah.
Illegal participation.
Yeah, that's why
the receiver went out of bounds, came back into the field to play.
I think that's why the referee signaled incomplete, because he saw him go out of bounds. But the proper call is what they're doing now. The incorrect call was to call it incomplete. So they did get it right, but it's a major penalty here. It's a 15-yard walk-off against Hobart.
And it moves the ball all the way back to the Merrillville 41-yard line. Second down and 20 now for HHS. Sorensen flushed out of the pocket. Throws out here, ball caught by Caldwell. Sidesteps a defender and ran out of bounds. And with that being said, it'll be a pickup of 4.
The first catch of the night for TJ.
Caldwell, who came in with 6 receptions a week ago. And now let's see where he'll be wide here to the near side. 2 receivers set to the right side. Has Sorensen. Surveys the situation with the tight end on the right side. Sorensen rolling to the right side, throws. Ball caught right around the 32-yard line. Back to close to where the original line of scrimmage was at.
Was that Bloom on the catch?
I believe it was.
Going to get near the original line of scrimmage. But it's going to be
Stafford.
Fourth and 10.
No, you're right. It was Bloom.
At this point in the game, you might as well go for fourth down.
4th down and 11. At the 4:10 mark in the third, you're a 31-6 trailer. You got to do it. Got to keep the drive alive. Well, you got to go back to that. Ricky's not scoring in the waning moments of that second quarter. Had a chance to make it here's a pass over the middle, pass incomplete. It'll be Merrillville football, 1st and 10 as they take over on downs. Merrillville defense doing an outstanding job of just methodically making play after play after play. And so they'll take over and the offense will come back on the field.
Even if he would have caught it, he would have been short by 4 yards.
Yeah.
There's some experience right there, and that maybe later in the year that this young Hobart team will see what they got to do.
But truth be told, I mean, this is the toughest team by far on Hobart's schedule. So they're and Craig mentioned this in the interview during the pregame show that they're finding out things, they're learning things, and this is how you learn things: is you play against a top tier team like Merrillville. Certainly one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the area, and then when you go into conference play, you say, okay, this is what we need to fix, and they've gotten a real good education on what needs to be fixed tonight.
Little timing pattern, slant pattern caught beautifully. Zamir Martin makes the catch for about an 18-yard gain. And with that being said, it's 1st and 10 Merrillville right on the nose of the Pirates.
It's nice to see for Martin. He's had a couple of that have gone off his hands. It's nice to see him get one secured and a big gain and 1st down for the Pirates.
Merrillville a week ago, 23 1st downs.
Michigan City has jumped out to a 29-23 lead in the 4th quarter.
Beautiful.
Here is the quarterback, Sanders, back to pass. Flushed out of pocket, and he is sacked. And this time he's sacked by Zach Bloom. Great effort by the senior. That's his 3rd sack of the year already. And he's tackled all the way back here to the 47-yard line. And I don't know what everybody's booing about.
Well, there was a second hit on. It was not a hard hit on Sanders after he was knocked down the first time. It was more of a just a
nudge.
A nudge, maybe a little bit harder than a nudge. It was not anything.
2nd down and 13. Man in motion coming to the near side. There's the handoff on the jet sweep. And
nice play.
Great defensive effort there by Brad Gibson.
Yep.
Wrapping up and throwing Zamir Martin down. Threw him down like a rag doll.
Yep.
Making a gain of 1. So call it 3rd down and 12 for Merrillville. At the 2:23 mark in the third quarter, Merrillville 31, Hobart 6.
Brad has done his part tonight, that's for sure.
Absolutely. He's going to have a great year.
Yep.
Yeah, from here on out, he'll be the best defensive player on
in the conference.
On that, in that league.
Yep.
3 down linemen for Hobart now.
Possibly in that sectional as well.
Here is Saunders back to pass. Looks, sidesteps the defender, dives forward into Hobart territory past the 45. Well, they're going to say his knee hit the 45. Gibson again in the same zip code. It'll be a gain of 7. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 5 for Merrillville. And I think Brad Cease will he bring the punt team in, or will continue just to? Yep, I think that's what he's going to do. This is a class move by Brad Cease. He can easily. They have just ran the ball with reckless abandon tonight. He could easily continue this drive, but he's calling off the Dogs already here in the third. His team on top, 31-6.
You don't want to get anybody hurt as well. You got a big game coming up next week too.
Here's the snap. Here's the kick by Wiggins. Angle inside the 10 and into the end zone.
And Hobart's very lucky they didn't just get another running into the kicker penalty.
Yeah, there was really not. I think the punter that time tried to kind of overplay it, a little Oscar performance that time, but the referee was like, no, I don't think there wasn't really anything malicious about the contact. So
Hobart first
no harm,
and 10.
no foul.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line with 1:04 to go. We welcome you here to Demery Stadium for high school football. Good to see several Merrillville and Hobart veterans in the crowd. Guys we've seen over the years past.
This is our only trip here during the regular season. Is it not? I believe it. I believe that's the case. We could very well be here for the regional though.
First and 10 for Brickies at the 20, with 64 ticks of the third quarter clock remain. They're a 31-6 trailer. Some fresh faces in there. Karan Moore is in there now at defensive tackle. He's also joined in there by Adam Camphor, who's had a great game as well. Here's a run off the right side in the aforementioned Jalen McAllister, who's played well in his spots, makes the tackle, gain of 2. Second down and 8 on the.
That was Pickett, I think.
Yep, it was. Max Pickett. Max, his 12th rush of the season. He's got 31 total yards. Here is quarterback back to pass, and he is flushed out, and he is sacked.
And there's a penalty flag just thrown.
Sorensen just trying to stay alive back there. And with that being said, it will be multiple substitutions for Merrillville as they're still trying to sort out the penalty.
Yeah, the clock kept running. I think they probably should have stopped it a while ago.
A couple fourth scores. Crown Point all over Taft, 49-0.
They picked up the flag, so there was no
Highland.
There was no penalty.
Highland up 46-0 over Whiting. Boone gets the win over Clay, 53-6. KV 26-14 over Wheeler in the fourth quarter, and Munster 34-20 in the fourth quarter over Griffith.
Second down and 11 for Hobart. Ball at the 19-yard line. They may not even get this play in before the quarter break. Sorensen shotgun. They got it just away. There's setting up the screen here, and Pickett swallowed immediately by Merrillville, and that'll do it. 3 quarters are in the books here from Demery Stadium. We welcome you here to the 49th meeting all time between Hobart and Merrillville. Merrillville a commanding 31-6 lead as we head to the fourth quarter. We'll be back at 60 on WEFM.
Tech Credit Union is the better option for personal and business banking in the region. They're open to the community and ready to meet your financial needs. You owe it to yourself to take a look. Tech Credit Union offers the latest banking and loan services, but without the big bank fees. To learn more, visit www.techcu.org or call them at 1-800-276-8324. That's 1-800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union is an equal housing lender and federally insured by NCUA.
In a world where cybercrime is continually on the rise, Qubit Networks is there to help you with the necessary tools to keep your digital assets and environment safe. Qubit Networks takes computer security seriously, and so should you. For more information, call 219-369-4357 or visit them on the web at www.qubitnet.com.
Welcome back here on WEFM. Glad you can hop along for our Game 2 affair. Got 5 games going on at Regional Radio Sports tonight. One of them was a historical game out in Osceola, Indiana, Mishawaka, Indiana. If you want to get legal on that, as Corey Ullman, the head football coach at Penn, won his 200th career game. And now Hobart to punt the football. As the punt goes right up the elevator shaft, and he got all of that one. And Javion Gills back here makes the catch. Fair catch made at the 40-yard line. And with that being said, Merrillville will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 40 with 11:52 to go in the ballgame, leading 31-6. Let's go over to Frank for our stats through 3 stanzas.
All right, Paul. Merrillville with 19 first downs in the contest. Hobart with 8. Merrillville just 3 yards shy of 400 total, 397. 307 of them are on the ground. Hobart with a $162 all told, 49 rushing, 113 through the air. Third downs, Hobart 2 of 9, Merrillville 2 of 6. Both teams still perfect on fourth downs. Merrillville did have a turnover in that third quarter, the only one of the game. Merrillville 6 penalties for 35 yards, and Hobart with 4 for 30. So we start the fourth quarter. Merrillville in command, leading it 31-6.
2 receiver set here to the near side for Dante Pope. He has J.Q. Johnson on his right hip. Now he'll send a man in motion to Martin. They run him straight up the middle, and J.Q.'s across the 50 to the 49-yard line, an 11-yard scamper for the talented 10th grader. He had 133 yards last week against Andrin, and he's on his way to, where is he, close to 200 yet, Frank?
Oh, I got him for a $173, Paul.
Here's the handoff now to Javion Gills off the left side. Gills keeps pile driving inside the 40 to the, that'll pick up of 11 on the play. Another Merrillville first down.
Both dueling schools dominating in the city of Merrillville. Valpo leads 55-18 in the fourth.
How many first downs now for Merrillville? They got to be at 20.
That's 20.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, they had 23 first downs last week against Andrin.
Mm-hmm.
Do the math, ladies and gentlemen. You get 20 first downs a game, you are going to win a lot of football games.
I mean, Paul, you and I have seen plenty of Merrillville offensive teams, but I don't know if we've really seen them pile up first downs like they have these first 2 weeks.
They've been so proficient in running the football.
Yeah.
And here's a flag down on this particular run, as once again it's J.Q. Johnson. How many rushes now for J.Q. as he's going to come to the sideline?
That was his 21st, but I don't know if it's going to count because it's going to be brought back for holding, it looks like.
Mark my word on this Merrillville team with 18 11th graders, maybe a year away. They're pretty good now, but they could really, really make some noise.
Well, you've got Johnson as a sophomore and Sanders as a sophomore for 2 more years each.
And you got Peters on the perimeter, Lewis on the perimeter. You got Martin on the perimeter, all 11th graders. This is a very, very talented, but still young and experienced, and they're getting some great reps tonight against this Hobart squad. 31-6 our score in favor of Merrillville with 10:40 to go in the fourth. Merrillville faced now after the mark-off with a 2nd down and 19. Move the ball back to their own 40, to the Bricky 47-yard line. This time, Brad Gibson says, no, thank you, as he gets wrapped up. Also, nice job there by Andrew Martinez in on the stop. Loss of 2. Great play by Martinez. Another one of those juniors on that class.
Pretty impressive by still getting held by the other guy, by the offensive lineman, and still wrapping up to make that tackle. Also a final Rensselaer all over North Newton, 53-0.
Here's your 3rd down and 21 for Merrillville. Ball back to the 49-yard line of Hobart. Here is the quarterback, Pope on the keeper. He sidesteps the defender. Boy, I tell you what, he just juked Jacob Ramirez right out of his shoes. And he just, and still with a nice run, make it a workable 3rd down and 10. Ended up with an 11-yard run on the play. But, man, what a play by the senior Dante Pope. And now a 3-receiver set to the far side in the persons of Gillis, Martin, and also out there is Mark DeLosa. 2 receivers to the near side in the person of Lewis and Peters. Shotgun, Pope looking at the run and shoot. Pope straight up the middle, and he breaks free past 1, but the rest of the group catch up. And that's going to bring up a 4th down and 9 for Merrillville with 9:36 to go in the game. Merrillville on top 31-6.
Keep the offensive on.
A couple of score updates, Paul. Morton keeping things close.
They're going to go for it on 4th down here.
My bad. They might run the play clock down here and then bring the punt team out. They'll burn up some clock here.
3 to the right and 2 to the left now for Pope. Face a 2nd down. And then everybody jumped. Somebody forgot the snap count there.
So much for that.
And then Brad Cease yells punt. They're going to bring in the punt team.
Yep.
Once again, this is the 2nd time that Brad Cease could have rubbed Hobart's face in it right here, and twice he has an option to go with the punt.
Scores to pass along locally. Morton keeping things close with Hanover, 21-14. That Wildcats lead in the 4th quarter. Lowell pulling away 26-7 over LaPorte. Michigan City now with a little breathing room, 36-23 over Lafayette, Jeff. Munster also a little breathing room, 41-27 lead I have over Griffith. And Lake Central making things interesting now, 28-21 Providence over at the Barrow Grounds, 4th quarter in that one.
And Merrillville with all kinds of confusion on their special teams unit, as hustling onto the field is
1 man short.
Yeah, Zamir Martin. As coming out of the game for Merrillville was Gills. And now I think they've got it all sorted out as the punt team is out. And the kick it from right to left will be Wiggins. Wiggins angles it to the far side, and the Brickies with an opportunity. And just hoping to hang on. Back there was Willie. Was that Willie Shear back there? Once again, the Hobart numbers in this. Check that out with Zach Bloom. The Hobart numbers are difficult to see on the far side.
Really difficult.
The lights don't help.
The lights in this press box don't help either. You're right. Whose idea was it to turn the lights on in here?
It definitely wasn't mine because I enjoyed it a lot better.
For us over 50 eyesight, it's a bit challenging.
31-6 our score. Thanks to Freddie Max for his great help tonight on
He's done a
scores.
tremendous job.
Trying to balance it all.
Not bad for a Navy guy.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to let you know,
non-Navy
United
football,
States Marine Corps is part of the Navy.
A non-Navy football fan, Navy guy.
I'll be go middies all day tomorrow.
Me too.
Here's the jet sweep push. They're moving out here across the 20.
That's Caldwell, I think.
And
they say he was down. The ball came out late.
And with that being said, a positive run for Caldwell. His 2nd rush of the day. This one for 5. Make it 4. They'll officially mark it.
Yep.
2nd down and 6 now.
I was ready to be generous there, but the referees were not as generous.
8:20 clock rolling. Bricks 2 to the far side, 1 to the near side. Sorensen on the keeper, kept it this way, 25, and ran out of bounds at the 28-yard line. The 29-yard line probably, depends on forward progress, going to be close. I think he's going to be a yard. They're going to say.
Depends where they spot it. It doesn't look like they're going to be generous with him either.
I believe they're going to give him the first down.
Oh, they are. They're going to be generous. First down.
Johnny Sorensen on the first down. Gets the first down rush in. Keeps the Brickies ball in their hands with 8 minutes to go in the ball game. They trail 31-6. Sorensen. This time he hands it off to Scheer and finds it difficult to gain any yards on the far side. I'll check that. That wasn't Sorensen. It's the 2nd time. Max Pickett with the run. Pickett, of course, Dad was former Bricky coach. And, of course, what a career he had as a high schooler. There's a pass out here on the flag. Ball caught on the far side.
He was the first of many number 6s.
Yeah, Wicked Michael Pickett, they used to call him.
Yep.
Yeah.
A shootout down in the south, Westfield. 51, Lawrence Central, 51. It's heading to overtime.
Holy cow.
And I believe that's Anthony Nilo that made the catch. I believe that was number 8. Once again, the difficulty is beyond belief. And here we go. Shotgun formation again. Sorensen hands it off here, and Pickett is just swarmed under. What a great individual effort defensively by Merrillville. Coming up and making a sensational play at the line of scrimmage for Merrillville was Derek Nelson. And that'll be up a 4th down, and the Hobart punt team will come on with 7 minutes to go in the ball game.
You were talking about Michael Pickett, Paul. Really, he's the one that's kind of started the renaissance of Lowell football.
That is correct.
Lowell was mired in years and years of mediocrity, and Coach Kennedy coming in and Michael Pickett breaking out really put Lowell on a path to winning football from that point on. We got
flag down.
We got I think we got a legal procedure coming.
Gills makes the fair catch. Our coverage tonight's game being presented in part by my good friend Scott Miller, a realtor. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home in Northwest Indiana, Scott Miller is a 5-star rated broker with numerous awards, accolades such as the top 1% of all teams within the Berkshire Hathaway nationally, top 15% home stat nationwide, folks. That's good stuff. This recipient is just dynamic. Home Snap Excellence and the Client Service Award based on his client's reviews, the official realtor of Hometown Jam. Scotty's also the Pursue Realty's Group top producing agents. Scotty was born and raised in Hobart. Honest, hardworking dude who believes that communication and his clients is the key. What a novel concept. We can talk to each other.
Huh.
Scott can talk to people. He can do it whether electronically. He can get on the phone. He can do it all.
You don't need AI for
he's
that.
He's
AI.
old school.
Yep.
If you want result, call Scott Miller, realtor of the Pursue Realty Group in Berkshire Hathaway at 219-263-3039. Hobart will be forced to punt again.
A 5-yard penalty. They were kicking.
Ooh, that's a nice
And this one, he got this one into the stratosphere. That goes inside the 20 and out of bounds at the 19. Once again, give my buddy Scott Miller a call at the Pursue Realty Group in Berkshire Hathaway at 219-263-3039. Don't forget to visit my guy, Scott Miller. The GOAT. He is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. List by with scottmiller.com for results that move you. If you're in the market to buy, sell, or both, you know what time it is, Frank?
It's Scott Miller time.
It is.
That was a 57-yard punt after the penalty. Merrillville would have done well to just decline it. They gave up about 20 yards in field position.
That'll help out the average.
Yeah, it will help the average quite a bit. Oh, you can do that all night, Fred. Thank you.
First and 10 for Merrillville with 6:21 to go. They lead 31-6. And this one, here is a run off the near side. Gillis making some room, a little juke move. Gillis, who had 35-yard rushes last week on 6 carries, has had a pretty good day here at the office. That little scamper for 8 yards. Bring up a 2nd down and 10 and moves the ball all the way out to the Merrillville 27-yard line. Gillis on the night. Pretty good day at the office for this youngster.
He got 5 carries for 25 yards. Not a bad average there. He also has a 14-yard reception. He's been involved a lot in the kicking game or the return game.
And here's the quarterback Sanders with the handoff, and they'll pick up the 1st down again.
Gills again.
This time it gets out to the 32-yard line.
Gibson again with the tackle.
Ryan Pass is going to be saying in his sleep tonight, the PA guy and boys soccer coach, Merrillville, 1st down. He said that a lot tonight, 22 times, 23 times.
Yeah, 20, 21.
23 last week, 20.
Yeah, 21 this week.
21 this week. Once again, Jordan Sanders, shotgun. He'll hand it off. This time, Gills finds it rough sledding. Gibson comes in to fill the hole. Brad makes the tackle.
Gill's going to be one of the better second-tier running backs, I would think, in all of Northwest Indiana. I mean, he averaged about 6 yards a carry last week.
Inside 5 minutes to go in the ballgame. Merrillville in command, 31-6.
Runs well, good, handles the ball well, doesn't fumble. He has a reception tonight as well, so nice to have that kind of depth at the running back position.
It does.
Most teams you drop from number 1 to number 2. Valpo has a really good 1-2 combination.
And receivers left and right for Sanders again. Bricky's showing blitz. And Sanders is hit from the backside. Nice job. Hobart just teeing off on the quarterback there. It was Trent Brown on the corner blitz coming up and making the tackle. And that'll be a loss, moving the ball back to the 29.5 yard. Now his ball's really close to the 30 more than anything with 4 minutes to go.
Warren Central has fallen again, and they have started the season 0-2 against both Fort Wayne teams. 18-14 Carroll Chargers over Warren Central.
2 to the right, 2 to the left again for Jordan Saunders. We're setting up a little big play here to Gills, and he's going to be close to the first down. He's going to pick up about 18 yards on the screen pass. And it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Zach Bloom with the tackle.
And bring up a 4th down in a couple.
Gill's the first one to catch more than one pass tonight, as Pope found 6 different receivers on his 6 completions.
And once again, Brad Cease with an opportunity. Easily could keep the change, easily could pad the stats. Once again, 4th and short. He opts to go for the punt, not trying to rub it in. Once again, just a class move by the Merrillville skipper. And doing this as Wiggins comes in to punt. The long snapper, Derek Nelson, puts one right on the money. And this is a good one by Wiggins. It'll angle to the far side and gets a high bounce, and Merrillville will down it at the 27-yard line. 2:54 to go in the 4th quarter. Merrillville, a 31-6 advantage.
Your future is waiting at Ivy Tech Lake County. From information technology to healthcare, automotive to hospitality, Ivy Tech Lake County has programs designed to get you where you need to be so you're ready for the job you want. We have new classes starting in October, so come in and register today. Call 219-392-3600 or visit ivytech.edu/Lake County and enroll today. Your future begins this fall at Ivy Tech Lake County.
I tell you what, it's going to be easy to pick our Grundle Award here tonight. I tell you what, Rashawn McGee has had a whale of a football game for Merrillville. He's just dominated things inside.
Yeah.
I think he's played as well as you can ask for. Between him and Adam Camphor, those guys have just been tremendous. What a job they have done. So Hobart with the ball, 1st and 10. And here is Sorensen giving way to Pickett, and he picks up some positive yards. And get out, we'll give him a gain of 5. And so Max, the sophomore, will now look to see what he can do. As he's, once again, Sorensen sends 2 to the right side and 1 to the left side. The 6'2", 190-pound senior signal caller hands it off to Pickett. Pickett wrapped up, nice job at the defensive front. Again, Jalen McAllister, who also was played well tonight from his defensive tackle spot. We called his name on 3 or 4 occasions tonight. Number 52 at 6'1", 260. He had 2 tackles and a sack a week ago, excuse me.
I think you mentioned this earlier, Paul. Next week, Hobart will be at home taking on Munster to open up Northwest Conference play. KV will be at Andre, and Hanover Central makes their debut in the conference against Highland.
Sorensen throws the deep ball, caught by Caldwell at the 20, or at the 31-yard line. Biggest play of the night for the Brickies, as they finally got Caldwell with some man-on-man coverage, and Sorensen put it right on the money. It'll be a 35-yard gain. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bricks at the 32 of the Bucks.
That'll help the average.
2 to the right and 1 to the left now. And Sorensen fakes, looks, throws over the middle. It's got a man there. Ball is incomplete. Great job by the Merrillville defense. When the safety came over, Caldwell couldn't track it down. Pass incomplete. It's going to bring up a 2nd down at 10. And one thing about Caldwell, they can't say he hasn't thrown to him. Thrown it in his direction half a dozen times tonight.
Merrillville's been all over him like a blanket.
2 receivers to the near side. Once again, the Mason Jackson goes in motion to the left side. Here's Pickett. dives forward inside the 20 and down to the 19-yard line. Nice little 11-yard scamper by the 10th grader from Hobart High. Make it 13 by the time they put in the forward progress. And with 95 seconds to go in the ballgame, Hobart trying to make it close here. Closer, I should say. And there's going to be a flag on Merrillville. And the Brickies will love this one because Merrillville a little lazy in getting the substitutions in and out. And with 81 seconds to go, they'll mark off 5 against the Pirates. Pirates a week ago, Frank, with 44 yards in penalty in their opener. And I know Brad talked to me prior to the game, says that's something he needs to be concerned with.
Got him for 8 for 50 plus whatever this one. This will be 5 yards, I believe, against the Pirates. So 9 for 55.
Down to the 14-yard line. 1st and 5 for HHS with 80 seconds to go. 2 to the right, 1 to the left now. Sorensen in the shotgun. Hands it off to Pickett. Pickett sidesteps to the defender. Dives inside the 10 down to about the 9-yard line. And he picks up the first down with 68 seconds to go.
Unleashed a bomb to left field. A 3-run shot to put the Dogs ahead 5-2. And now Brian Warzek is on for the save opportunity. He'll take on 2, 3,
Here's
and 4.
a run off the right side and into the end zone.
And Jesus Mariani.
Touchdown. The Brickies off the scamper from Johnny Sorensen dent the scoreboard. His second rushing touchdown of the year. And with 63 seconds to go in the ball game, it's now 31-12 in favor of the Merrillville Pirates. As the Brickies
might as well practice your special team.
Continue to play hard right here to the bitter end. Now the point after touchdown. Xander Langford. Good. Here's the fake on the here's Bloom with a pass towards the end line. Pass incomplete. And the score will remain 31-12. Let's go over to Frank here for the recap on that drive here momentarily. But Merrillville, once again, with a 31-12 advantage.
It was a 7-play, 71-yard drive. Paul took 151 off the clock. Sorensen with the 9-yard touchdown run, and no good on the 2-point conversion pass. 63 ticks left in the ball game. Merrillville about to be 2-0 in the season, leads it 31-12.
And once again, we had mentioned this earlier in the broadcast. The worst defeat in this series, you've got to go back a ways. Merrillville's largest margin of victory was 41 points. Certainly that's not going to be the case tonight.
2 years ago here, Merrillville won 41-14, so very similar to that one.
That was back in 1956. 55-14 was the final on that one. And, of course, most points scored, that's not going to be close to this one. So Merrillville now with the win tonight will increase the win streak to 7 in a row over Hobart.
They're getting closer in the all-time series, too. I believe, 28-20? Now was going to be the overall advantage for Hobart?
28-20 now.
Valera swings and misses
with an 8
at a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, 2-1. An intentional walk to Brian Litch to get to former major leaguer Stevie Wilkerson.
To right.
Loaded the bases
Xander Langford, the
Aaron
junior,
Phillips.
to kick. A pair of guys deep for
the 2-1.
Merrillville. Let's see what they can do here. As Langford puts the ball on the tee. Brickies are saying, I think they're going to try the. I think they're going to try the onside kick. Merrillville's still deep.
Why not? Before? And
there's the pooch kick, and it goes right into the hands of one of the upmen for Merrillville. It was Aaron Kuykendall, the 5'9", 180-pound 10th grader, who perfectly played the ball there. And it'll be Merrillville's offense on the field.
And then that's our MVPs, Paul.
You got him.
That's what we're going with. Yep, we're going to go with J.Q. Johnson for Merrillville. His numbers on the night: 20 carries, 173 yards, and a couple of touchdown runs. So he's over 300 yards already, just 2 games into the season. And for Hobart, Brad Gibson played outstanding on the defensive side. Had to have been on probably if not double-digit tackles, very close to it tonight.
So Merrillville will assume the victory position here with 1 minute to go on the clock. No, actually, they're going to run the football off the right side. They'll get it down to the 50-yard line.
Cameron Jordan, the freshman, with the carry.
They're excited about him. He had 3 rushes for 26 yards last year, 5'8", 150. And they say he has got speed to burn. As the Pirates, once again, also making a change at quarterback is Darnell Bowles, a 6 foot, 148-pound 10th grader will be in. The third quarterback that Brad Cease has used tonight. And he takes the shotgun, and he'll hand it off again to Jordan. This time he's wrapped up. And that'll be the final play of the ball game. Once again, for the 7th straight time, the Merrillville Pirates have defeated the Hobart Brickies to close the overall series, the 28-20 respectively. In the big picture of these long-time series, Merrillville improves to 2-0 with 2 convincing wins against the Northwest Crossroads Conference. They will go unbeaten into their ball game against the Crown Point Bulldogs next week. The Brickies will regroup as they'll take on the Munster Mustangs with a record of 1-1. We'll be back with all the recap of the scoring and the post-game stats right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
The key to competing and winning is hard work, preparation, and persistence. At Friedman & Associates, we believe in the same principles. Our law firm has been here since 1984, providing legal counsel on a range of issues, including employment matters, juvenile law, traffic DUI matters, accident injury cases, school law, and family matters. If it's not an area of law we practice in, we can refer you to someone who can assist your needs. Friedman & Associates, prepared, persistent, and hardworking.
Looking for the best filters for your vehicle? Look no further. Introducing Wix Filters at your neighborhood Auto Value store. Wix understands the importance of quality and reliability, manufacturing filters for optimal performance and engine protection. So whether you're a DIY enthusiast or a professional mechanic, choose Wix for your vehicle's filtration needs. Find Wix Filters at your local Auto Value store or online at myautovaluestore.com. Auto Value, where service is the difference. We get it.
A community isn't just a bunch of people living in the same place. A community is when those people form bonds built on mutual respect and trust. Horizon Bank is a community bank. We build relationships over time with exceptional service and sensible advice. With advisors who listen to your dreams, then work to turn them into a reality. Come in today or visit us at horizonbank.com and let us show you. Horizon Bank. Before we lend, we listen. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Engravables is your local source for team trophies, plaques, and awards. They're located at 2005 Calumet Avenue in Valparaiso. They are also your local headquarters for badges, ID tags, and signage, gift items, and rubber stamps. Engravables has expanded into promotional products such as pens, calendars, drinkware, and giveaways for your business. For more information, visit their website at engravables.net or call Engravables at 219-477-5656.
Looking back here on Regional Radio Sports, before we go to our final scoring, Randall County, you're going to fly through these scores because we got to get back out to some baseball. So knock them down, my man.
Lowell is the winner, 26-7 over Fort Providence Catholic, 28-21 over Lake Central. Warsaw beats Chesterton 8-6. Lowell 26-7. West Central all over Lake Station 58-10. Boone Grove all over Clay 53-6. Bremen over Washington, 42-7. Marion over Culver Academy, 21-14. Northridge over Elkhart, 35-29. New Prairie over Goshen, 29-10. Concord over Jimtown, 27-10. Penn, 28-7 over Mishawaka. Adams beats Logansport, 23-22. Riley, 20-0 over Glenn. North Judson, 52-7 over Caston. South Central, 44-22 over Culver. And Columbia City 42-14 over Plymouth.
All right, Frank, our final scoring tonight.
The scoring recap?
Scoring recap.
Okay, Merrillville scored in the first time they touched the football. They marched 13 plays, 75 yards, took 5:24 off the clock. J.Q. Johnson with the 1-yard touchdown run at the 6:36 mark. That made it 7-0 Pirates. Next time they had it, it was much like the same thing. 11-play, 75-yard drive.
With a huge selection of high-quality
They did catch a break on a running into the kicker penalty, and they took advantage as Dante Pope went 34 yards on this touchdown run just into the second quarter, 11-12 mark of the second quarter. Martinez added the extra point and made it 14-0 Merrillville at that point. The next time they got it, a little electricity this time as Johnson bust through for a 55-yard touchdown scamper at the 9:04 mark. That was a 2-play, 66-yard drive, just 28 seconds off the clock. Martinez again with the PAT. 21-0 Merrillville at that point. Hobart was able to right the ship a bit. On their next possession, they marched 11 plays, 59 yards, took 3:39 off the clock. Willie Shear on a 4-yard touchdown run, capping the scoring. PAT went off the upright at the 5:25 mark, made it 21-6 at that point. Hobart had a chance to add some more points, did not get the touchdown and missed the field goal. Merrillville, however, right before halftime, marched 71 yards quickly in 8 plays, just the final 1 minute off the clock, capped by Giovanni Martinez' 26-yard field goal as time expired. That made it 24-6 at the half in favor of Merrillville. And then on their first possession of the second half, they went 8 plays, 66 yards, 3:26 off the clock. Pope again, this time from 17 yards out on the scamper. Martinez with the extra point at the 6:47 mark. That made it 31-6 Merrillville at that point. Both teams had opportunities after that. Neither one could punch one in. Hobart finally did against many of the backups for Merrillville late in the ballgame. They went 7 plays, 71 yards, took 151 off the clock. Johnny Sorensen at the 1:03 mark left in the ballgame, 9-yard touchdown run. They went for 2 on the fake pass, did not get it, and that's how the scoring ended. Merrillville winning it 31-12.
And our recap being presented in part by personal injury attorney Dave Cox. He probably supports region football, which is best for the Bricks next week against the Munster, as well as all the rest of the region teams. We hope you never need his services, but if you're hurt in a wreck, give call Cox. Attorney Cox is a life member of the $1 Million Advocates Forum and is dedicated to representing seriously injured victims of negligence and getting fair and just results. For a free consultation for Dave Cox, give him a call at 219-225-5269 or check him out online at davecoxlaw.com. Cox Law office located at 8792 East Ridge Road in Hobart. So we're going to go over now to Frank, who's got our final stats in the ballgame.
All right, Paul. Merrillville with 21 first downs in the contest, 23 a week ago, so they're really getting it done on the first downs. Hobart with 12. Merrillville had 487 yards last week. This week, 457 yards, with 355 of those coming on the ground, 102 through the air. Hobart with 239 yards total offense, 85 on the ground, 154 through the air. Merrillville 2 of 8 on third downs, 2 of 2 on fourth downs. Hobart 3 of 11 on third downs, and they converted their only fourth down. Merrillville had the only turnover of the ballgame, did not cost them any points. Merrillville still with the penalties issue, 9 penalties for 55 yards. Hobart with 5 for 35. Individual numbers for Merrillville: J.Q. Johnson, 20 carries, 173 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dante Pope, 14 carries, 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Javion Gills added 7 carries, 33 yards. Pope through the air, 6 of 10 for 90 yards. He hooked up with John Peters on a 31-yard pass. Gills caught 2 passes for 26 yards. Dermont Bogard 1 for 23. Meanwhile, for Hobart, Willie Shear, 12 carries, 32 yards. He had a rushing touchdown. Johnny Sorensen, 7 carries, 17 yards, added a late rushing touchdown. Sorensen through the air, 14 of 25 for 154 yards. Shear caught 3 of those passes for 47. Aiden Leonard had a good first half, ended up with 4 catches, 39 yards. TJ Caldwell, 2 catches, 39 yards. And Zach Bloom, 4 catches for 18 yards. Merrillville won very convincingly. They dominated this ball game really from the start. They win at 31-12 in this great rivalry game and head into Duneland Conference play with a 2-0 mark.
The 31st season of American Tackle Football on Regional Radio Sports has been brought to you in part by Spectrum Financial Group. Also want to thank our friends at the United States Marine Corps, the Cubit Networks, Horizon Bank, State Farm Insurance, Engravables, Scott Miller, a 5-star real estate
Exact same
broker from
batter,
Pursuit
Ryan
Realty
Rich,
Group
to
in
get to
Berkshire
Stevie
Hathaway
Wilkerson,
Executive Realty.
and he
Ivy
uncorks a
Tech Lake
grand
County,
slam
Cynthia
over
Bank,
the bullpen in right
Personal
field to
Injury
make it
Attorney
7-4.
Dave Cox,
Dogs win that
Tech
one.
Credit Union,
It just
Bozak
feels
Honda,
like a bigger
First Trust
gut
Credit
punch
Union,
now
Friedman and
because
Associates
of how
Attorneys.
hard it is for the
Also want to thank our
Redcats to
friends
recover
at
9 games
Auto
left.
Value
Still
Parts
5
Store, the McEwen Law Office, the Indiana
Boy.
Football Digest.
Give credit
our
to the
friends
Dogs.
at Forest
They
Ridge
came
Family
through the big
Dentistry and Mayor
moments.
P.
Their
Land and the
biggest
Crown
players
Point
stepped.
Base Department. Once again, the final score here from 68th place in Merrillville, Indiana, in the Battle of the Unbeatens. Merrillville pins on Hobart their first loss of the season. They improved to 2-0 as they win the 49th meeting all-time between these former DAC rivals. Merrillville has closed the gap in the series. Hobart with a 28-20 and 1 advantage. They've won 7 straight games in the series. And with that being said, once again, the final score in the football game, the Merrillville Pirates take advantage and win it 31-12. For our broadcast team, special thanks to Tiny Condor along with Fred Maxey. Thanks to Michelle for taking care of business with Fred. We also want to thank Randall Condry and Frank Kelpikowski and our team back at WEFM.